I mean it. Cassette player, cassettes go right in the toilet if you don't give her diary back. Now!
All right, give me my things.
Most of the hymns I've ever heard sing the praises of love and charity. Why don't you try really listening to those?
You'd be amazed at some of the things I hear in my hymns.
It'll take more than a hymn to straighten out your head.
You had enough? You ready to make love now instead of war, Cass? I beat you a little too hard, did I? Well, I know how to bring you around, my lovely. You better wake up for this, Cassie. It's gonna be the best you'll ever get. Dorian, I'll kill you both.
My Alexander loves my hair to smell as beautiful as it looks. So I use new L'Envie Parfum shampoo and...
So, my man, you in with us or what?
Well, you got a good deal going here. If you don't screw it up. So talk to me.
Will you play your cards right and do as you're told? And maybe we'll believe you didn't tip off the cops.
And if you don't, pal, you're on the wrong side of the tombstone. Look, so's your brother. Oh, man, don't worry about me, pal, all right? Because I can handle anything that's thrown at me unless some moron screws it up. And listen, about my brother, either you touch him, man, there's not going to be enough of you left to put flowers on.
Hey, he's a tough guy, huh?
I'll show you tough, man. You want to see tough? I'll tell you, you want to make sure this heist works tonight? Will you let me help you plan? You dig? Don't forget what you said about my good ideas, huh?
It's not that I don't trust you. It's just that I think I'd rather play it on the safe side. You know what I mean? We'll meet you here at 7:30. Got it?
You don't have to play the prosecutor with me.
I'm sorry. I know it was a little harsh. I'm surprised that you're in the States so soon.
I missed you.
I missed you.
You sure you weren't just lonely?
Yes.
And so you've embraced your work with a passion.
Are you talking about my accomplishments by any chance?
If you like, in either case, you're the darling of the Pennsylvania press corps, and I depend on you to help me to keep up with you. You never write?
I used to write all the time when you first started your post in Mendora. Every day, remember?
You knew how busy I was. It was my first ambassadorship. I appreciated the letters.
Did you?
I was never very good at writing. It was simply just a call.
And then it was easier for you to just ignore both of them. So please, don't criticize what I'm doing with my life now.
Why are you getting into politics?
Are you afraid of a little friendly family competition?
Our marriage won't stand the strain.
Our marriage? All of a sudden we have a marriage, Charles?
We can reverse the process, you know it. One of the reasons I came back here.
I wish I could believe that.
All I ask for is an open mind and heart.
It's all... After what we've been through all this time, that's all you ask for?
We can try, can't we? Or maybe you think it's, no good.
Why does it always come back to me?
Look, I can see I've really put you on the defensive, haven't I? Well, rubbish.
Hey, Lisa.
Hi there.
Oh, Connie, I'm sorry I didn't see you.
Well, I can understand why.
I saw them take your father away.
Yeah.
Very sorry.
Yeah,
How are you doing?
So well.
Hey, look, I know it won't change reality at all, but it might cheer you up a little bit. We're going to the Ponies Club ball tonight at the racetrack. Would you care to join us?
Oh, you don't need me tagging along, no.
Come on, we'd love to have you. Would we?
Oh, sure, that would be great. Why don't you put on a dress, go out for the evening, and forget about your problems?
You two are so kind.
All right, put on your best dress, your fancy jewelry, and knock their socks off, all right? We'll pick you up around 7:30.
Well, thank you. I'll see you later, okay? Thanks.
Okay. Thanks all the way around.
Dad, wait till you drive it. You won't believe it.
Jamie, son. You look terrific. All three of us together again.
I couldn't believe it when you said you were coming back today. I meant to get you a gift, but
Well, I have all the gifts that I want here.
Minus one daughter.
Oh, yes. How is she?
Oh, occasional letters. I think she's somewhere in Tibet on a mountain. Obviously, she doesn't get her sense of adventure from me.
Sounds a lot like you, Mother.
I don't believe this. You knew that he was coming back today, and neither of you even bothered to tell me.
I know. I just forgot. I'm sorry.
Well, actually, I came back sooner than I expected. It's time for me to settle down a while. How about a quiet family dinner?
Oh, Dad, I'd love to, but the pony ball is tonight. I've already got a fantastic date.
Well, there's no reason why we can't all go. I'm sure you've got an invitation. Do you have a host or an escort?
Well, actually, I wasn't thinking of going.
Well, will you do me the honor?
Come on, Mom. It'll be fun.
All right.
Okay, I'll see you both there then. I
Jamie,
better run.
please be careful with that car. No more speed runs or anything, please.
Don't worry, Mom. It only gets up to 142 miles an hour.
Well, it's great to see him again.
I worry about him.
Oh, he's young, but a responsible kid. He'll be fine.
Well, the jury's still out on whether he's responsible, and you know something, you indulge him.
Look, I hardly see him. I have to make it up to him somehow.
That doesn't mean you have to spoil him.
Do you think I'm corrupting his character?
I wanted him to stay in college. If you had encouraged him, at least he would have stayed.
Jamie has an independent streak. Or have you forgotten? Give him the time to be patient.
You always say that: patience, tolerance, hope.
I'll pick you up at 7.
Oh, all right. All right.
Maria, you were wonderful today. Above and beyond the call of duty.
Yeah, without you, it would have taken us all day to move into the carriage house.
Oh, I'm glad I could be of help, but it does look cute, doesn't it?
Oh, I always wanted to live in a cute house. I think we all did great. I think we all should be rewarded. Now, let's see. What do we have here? Well, what do you know? 3 tickets to the pony ball. Now, how about that?
You're kidding! How on earth did you manage that? That is a very big social deal.
But don't I look like the sort of person who can stay afloat during a big social deal?
Well, this is the party everybody's been talking about.
Everybody talks. Few are chosen. I just thought since we're new in town, we ought to give the locals a look at us. And vice versa. 7 o'clock, enough time for you ladies to get beautiful? Now, that ought to be a cinch because you're both beautiful to begin with.
Well, gosh, what should I wear? That blue gown, maybe.
Look lovely, darling.
I have to stop off and see Cord and Tina first. I had an argument with Cord yesterday, and I'm afraid I may have been a bit harsh.
Well, Dad, can I go get started? I'm so excited. The pony's ball.
Sure, you go ahead.
Okay, I'll see you tonight, Mrs. Roberts.
See you later. Tom, I'm very happy to see that you and Mary Lynn need each other right now.
Families always need each other. What's this about Court? I didn't know he had an argumentative bone in his body.
Well, he didn't used to, but he's decided that he has to sell off some of the land that Al left us in El Paso.
Sell it?
Yeah.
That is serious. A Texan will sell his pickup truck before he'll sell off land. Want me to talk to him?
Oh, no, thanks. No one's going to change his mind. He is so crazy in love with his new wife. I just want to keep peace in the family. Tom, do kids ever stop being difficult?
Don't ask me. I'm happy now because Marilyn is getting over the brainwashing that Mitch Lawrence put her through. And she's happy in school, so in school she stays, and I stay right here with her.
Yes, I had to do that, too. I moved here to be near Cord. But, you know, I can't help but wonder if there's such a thing as doing too much for our kids.
Honey, there's no such thing as giving them too much love.
Ah, yes.
Well, we better move, huh? Pick you up later.
Right, I'll be waiting.
Okay, bye-bye.
Listen, the Chip kid didn't know anything about the stash the cops got. Of course we leaned on him. Look, I know it's 10 grand. I owe it, I'll get it. We got it all set. He's gonna help us hit the pony's ball. Yeah, it's perfect. We're gonna clean out every jewel at that racetrack restaurant tonight.
Police headquarters,
Front desk.
Oh, yeah, can I speak to Ed Hall, please?
Well, Captain Hall is out of town right now. Can I help you?
No, well, yeah, Rafe Garrison.
Well, today's your unlucky day. Lieutenant Garrison's on his honeymoon.
Well, listen, man, if Rafe or Ed Hall call in, have them call Chip Cooper at Elmo's 2 right away, all right?
Okay, I'll give him the message. He's going to ask me what it's about. Now, what am I going to tell him?
Yeah, just tell him it's urgent.
Oh, Lord. Now, just wait. Just hold it right there. Turn a little bit now. Oh, yes. Oh, Tina, I just can't get over how beautiful you look.
You know, I just can't get over all of this. I mean, this dress, this jewelry, it's incredible. I feel like it's part of a dream.
Well, honey, that is a reality that you are just going to have to get used to. What now?
Oh, I'll see.
Oh.
Oh, Maria, don't you look lovely? It's so good to see you. Please come in.
Thank you, Tina. You look very lovely yourself. Cordero, I didn't want any more time to go by before I talked to you, and no. Apologize is more like it.
Ma, you don't have to apologize for anything, all right? We just had a simple difference of opinion, that's all.
Oh, I'm glad.
Now, we talked about it, and it's settled, all right?
And I'm glad you feel that way. I just don't want you to think that I'm an interfering mother.
Ma, you never have been before, and I can't imagine you starting now.
Money just seems to bring out the worst in people. Now, I want to make one thing clear. If you and Tina feel that you want to sell off the land a little bit at a time, it's your decision, and that's quite all right.
Oh, Maria. Look, Cord wasn't going to say this, but, you know, he was really upset about arguing with you, and I can't tell you how much it means to both of us that you accept what he chooses, you know, especially as choosing me.
Well, Cord did choose you as his wife, and, of course, I approve.
Look, Ma, I really felt awful about some of those things I said to you. I never meant to hurt you. That was never my intention.
Well, look, don't worry about it. That's all settled now, huh?
Good. Hey, look, we're just about to leave for this ponies ball. Why don't you come with us? We'll give you a ride there.
Oh, yes. One big happy family.
Well, I'd love to, honey bunch, but Mary Lynn and Tom Dennison are waiting for me downstairs.
Oh, well, good. I'm looking forward to seeing them. All right, I'll see you there, and you keep one of your dances open on your dance card.
You bet. That's a promise.
Oh, honey, I can't tell you how happy that made me, seeing you hug my ma like that. That made me almost as happy as seeing the expression on your face when I gave you those emeralds.
Honey, I've always wanted to be your friend. I have. It's just that she's never liked me.
Yeah, well, it looks like she approves of you now. So we are going to be just one big, happy family. Oh.
Hey, you guys are right on time.
We got plenty to do and no time to waste.
Go, babe.
A little Halloween present. Trick or treat.
Yeah, what's this? I mean, you guys are talking armed robbery?
And people just don't give you the goodies for asking. Are you with us or are you good?
Oh, man, come on. No, armed robbery. That's 10, 20, minimum.
Look, this one's worth it. The ponies ball. Every society dame in town cleans the diamonds out of her vault and wears them tonight. We're talking very big money.
What we're talking, man, is a gun, all right? We're talking people can get hurt, man. People can get killed. No, I can't do this.
Look, it's too late now, buddy. You know what we're doing. You're in with us.
Unless you'd rather be fish food. Okay, listen, man, I'll do it, but I'll drive, all right? I'll play lookout. I'm a good driver.
No way. The crowd's too big. We all gotta be on the inside.
All right. All right. All right, I'm with you, but we gotta be cool. We gotta be very, very cool. You dig? I'll take my car. I'll meet you there.
No way. From now on, it's the Three Musketeers. One for all and all for one. Let it ring. The next words out of your mouth are going to be hands up. Now move it.
Charlotte, look, while everybody's gone for a while, could you answer a question?
Depends.
That girl, Jeannie, who they took away last night, she still isn't back yet.
She'll be back. Don't worry about it.
I mean, this has happened before? Where did they take her? This is a prison. What are they doing here in the middle of the night?
Look, Dorian, maybe you don't hear me so good. I said she'll be back. I meant it. I can it.
All right, I won't think about her. Not until she shows up again. Can I ask you another question?
Can you ask?
Okay, you said you had a chance with that guy we saw in the rec yard.
There's no mystery about that. 4 times a year, they give a prison ball. We all get together, and for one magic night, we dance and we socialize. The theme of this one is autumn leaves.
Sounds wonderful. But it must be kind of scary, no? I mean, a lot of those men are in for some pretty horrible crimes.
Well, a lot of the women are, too. It all evens out. I think it's all a big hustle on the part of the wardens to keep the steam pressure down on the men. If anybody gets out of line, they get kicked out and kept out of the dances for a year.
Must make you kind of crazy. I mean, what happens at these dances before, during, after, just dancing?
An overcrowded prison with 5,000 sex-starved men and women in it? Look, before the dances, it's easy. We get dressed. Oh, you ought to see some of the outfits. Hair, makeup, the whole bit. During the dance, we dance. And after?
Where?
Well, let's just say the human mind is incredibly inventive when it comes to finding places for a few moments of privacy.
You ever met the muscle man before?
No, but I will. Believe me, I will. Who knows? Maybe even a society lady like you will run into some dreamboat burglar or a hotshot cocaine king.
Not quite what I'm looking for.
You ought to take life as you find it, kid. And believe me, this ain't just a ball. It's a blast.
Well, Tina, don't you look gorgeous? And I understand congratulations are in order. Is this the lucky man?
Yes, thank you. I'd like you to meet Cordero Roberts from Landview and El Paso, rancher and landowner. Cord, I would like you to meet Clark Rosewell. He's the president of the racetrack club.
Pleasure to meet you, sir.
Welcome to our club. Look, there's some folks I'd like for you to meet. Ambassador and Mrs. Charles Sanders. He just came back from Mindora. And Judith is serving as a special prosecutor here in Landview. Cordero and Tina Roberts. Newlyweds, by the way.
Yes, Ambassador. Pleasure,
Pleasure to meet you, sir.
Mrs. Sanders.
Tina, I hope you'll understand I was just doing my job in court.
Of course I understand. I've put all that behind me now.
Oh, just married, huh?
Yes, sir. A few weeks.
Well, you'll think it's always going to be the same, but you'll be surprised at the little changes that come along the way.
Yeah, well, if our honeymoon was any indication, I'm sure that'll be true.
Well, the first surprise will be our new house. You see, we're going to start building in just a few weeks, and we've started looking at architect's plans.
How nice. Well, is it going to be contemporary or period or...
It is going to be very, very modern.
Oh, if you would excuse me, my mother just came in. Excuse me. Very good. Thank you.
Champagne? Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Now that is what I call an entrance. Did you see how the eyes had swiveled to take a look at us when we walked in?
Oh.
Of course, I did walk in with two lovely ladies.
I hate to burst your bubble, Brad, but they weren't looking at you or at me. I think it was Lisa.
Yeah, well, why? They should stare, Lisa. I mean, she's beautiful. You're beautiful. Believe me, I know. I ran a modeling agency for quite a while.
Oh.
I saw a lot of young ladies come and go, and believe me, you could come and stay on the cover of half the magazines on the stand.
You're putting me on now. Come on.
No, he's not. He doesn't compliment women in front of me unless he really means it, right? Besides, it's probably that flashy jewelry you have on.
Well, I guess my dad felt a little guilty not being around enough when I was growing up.
Oh.
So he overcompensated with all this jewelry. I never wear it much. It sits in the vault all the time.
Instead of gracing the most beautiful woman in Landview, that's a shame.
Oh, stop.
Yes, stop.
Connie, you're so lucky being around such a sweet and attentive man, having him around you all the time.
Yeah, he's attentive, all right.
Lisa, dear.
Hello.
I heard about Bart. What a tragedy. He's a fine man.
Thank you.
May I freshen your drink?
I think so. Surely. Excuse me?
You know, I really want to strangle you right now. Keep it simple, Connie. That's how you look best. But yet all you can talk about is how stunning Lisa looks in her jewels. Thanks a lot.
I was just trying to cheer the poor girl up. And it worked. Look, she's smiling. Good God.
What is it?
The ghost of Joe Riley. I don't believe my eyes.
I tell you, the El Paso conspiracy's out of the bag now. We got all four of us standing right here.
Son, I never thought you could look any better than the way you look in jeans, but I think you ought to make this tuxedo permanent.
Oh, yeah? Well, I tell you, I read an article last week saying that if you wear a tie all day, every day, it cuts off the circulation to your brain, and before you end up brain
That could explain the nutty things that politicians and businessmen do, right?
That could do it, yeah.
Is that your wife over there, Cord?
Yeah. Yeah, she's over there talking to an ambassador, excuse me,
Wow.
and his wife.
I'm impressed.
She's very beautiful.
Oh, thank you. I tell you, she's the light of my life. Oh, hey, why don't you all come over and I'll introduce you? Come on.
Fine.
Someone you know? Or do you know them all?
Someone I'm going to know. Come on, let's go say hello to my parents.
Herb, did you get through to say so?
Oh, finally. Felt like I was on hold for hours, and then I had all of 2 minutes to talk to her.
Well, how is Dorian?
Puts on a brave front no matter what. I felt like she was on a ragged edge.
Oh, Herb, I'm sorry.
I don't know if she can survive that hellhole. I honestly don't.
Pardon me, Mr. Callison.
Lisa.
I have to know, how awful is the penitentiary?
I'm sorry. I didn't see you. I didn't mean to upset you. Well, I mean, it's a maximum security prison. Those places aren't easy. And, your father's very bright and resourceful. I'm sure he'll figure out pretty quickly how to take care of himself. So, why don't I buy you a drink? Come on.
He's a very sweet man, isn't he? I mean, there you were all alone in that big mansion while Ace was away in Texas. And, well, he was so nice to offer to bring you here to this party. You could go and see.
How does she manage to do it? It takes her about 1 minute to say something so dumb I want to rip her head off.
I don't care if Tina acts like a jerk.
People are looking at us. Oh, I'd like to go home.
Sure, but I have to ask her a question first, okay? Just wait a second.
Hey, Dan, Allison. Let me introduce you. This is Monique.
Pleased to meet you.
What a beautiful necklace.
Thanks. It's my mom's, actually.
What she doesn't know, this is a surprisingly nice party, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful, isn't it? I didn't really know what to expect tonight. I'm not really used to going to these things. My father was the prison warden, and so the only social things that we went to were things where everybody wore blue suits and made serious speeches and ate boiled potatoes.
A prison warden?
I discovered her at the hospital where she works and dragged her away. It was a struggle.
I'm glad that you dragged me, too. You see, I've been kind of a social hermit lately, but it feels really good to be mingling among people and just being my own person.
Allison, what's the matter? You look like you were hit with a hammer.
Be your own person. That's what Mitch used to say when he was trying to brainwash us, and I thought that I was over all of that.
It just popped out. I use that idea when I'm trying to explain myself to my father. Don't worry about it.
Do you know what a really nice guy you are?
People, lovers of horseflesh, friends of the ponies, contributors to Landview Hospital. I want to get this next race started by announcing that the generous, delightful, and beautiful Mr. and Mrs. Donald Wentworth have opened this year's Landview Hospital Building Fund with a check for $2,000.
Charles and Judith Sanders will match that $2,000.
Anyone else?
And Mr. and Mrs. Cordero Roberts will pledge $5,000.
Don't tell me this was your idea of what to do with your father's money.
Ma, I had no idea she was going to pull something like this. I will handle my own wife, all right?
You had better, because they will arrest me.
Very generous, Tina. You and your husband are off to a flying start.
Excuse us.
The next person that moves is dead.
Come on, get in there.
Welcome back, Sister Jeannie.
Leave me alone. Just a minute, matron. What is it now? Where did you take Jeannie?
Knock it off, Dory.
I will not knock it off. When a prisoner's taken out of here in the middle of the night and then brought back in that condition, I have a right to know what's going on.
You gave up your rights when you committed murder. Jeannie, are you all right? Where did they take you? She's fine, aren't you, Jeannie?
Never felt better.
She's not telling the truth. She's afraid to speak. Come on, Jeannie. If anybody's abusing you, I'll make sure that the news gets out. You may have been a crusading journalist on the outside, but in here, you're nobody.
Do what she says, Dory, and they can really punch your ticket in here.
I have rights, even in here.
You know what you've got in here? More trouble than you've ever seen in your life, right, Jeannie?
Right. So shut up and stay out of it, Dorian.
Jeannie, satisfied?
Face it, Dorian. In here, you're nobody.
All right, everybody, listen up. I want all of you women to take off your jewelry and dump it in the bag my buddy's gonna pass around. Everybody else, throw your wallets into the middle of the floor. And I don't want to see any funny stuff. Now move!
No, they're gonna have to kill me before they get my new jewelry.
Honey, just listen to the man and do what he says.
These men are desperate, Tina.
Come on, gorgeous. Put the nice little necklace in the nice big bag.
No, you get away from me!
Honey.
Come on!
Sorry about that. Look, sentimental value, all right?
Why, you're darn right it is! What do you do? Hey, you give that back to me!
I think I know that guy.
Which one?
See the guy over there with the pistol?
Are you sure?
Yeah, there's something about him that's really familiar.
Bucky!
Back off!
Don't, please.
All right, the next one of you makes a sound. It's gonna be World War III around here, all right? Everybody freeze, especially you.
We have a problem, Warden. Dorian Lord is asking some very dangerous questions.
Like what?
Like where the inmates are going at night and why they come back exhausted.
Well, looks like we have a serious troublemaker on our hands.
Well, Well, we could try a little persuasion.
You forget, matron, we're dealing not just with a troublemaker, we're dealing with a rich troublemaker, and rich troublemakers have friends in high places.
Oh, but they could still fall from high places.
Oh, be realistic, will you? We're dealing with a lady journalist here.
That's exactly what bothers me.
Well, we'll handle her. You make sure the others don't blab.
Oh, they know better than that.
Any of the other inmates have it in for her?
Come to think of it, yeah, there's one, Susan. She really hates Dorian for having killed that Lawrence character. I think that she would stab her with a bobby pin if she got half a chance.
Well, worst comes to worst, she may just get the chance. Meanwhile, let her know that Mitch's murder is open game from now on.
Charlotte, level with me. What happens to the women when they're taken away from here?
Back it off, Dorian. You don't want to know.
Why won't you tell me?
Because there's some things we just don't talk about in here.
But I'm one of you now.
Dorian, all you're going to do is get us worse trouble than we've already got.
Maybe I could get you out of trouble if you would just tell me what's going on.
No, Dorian!
Diane, do you know what's happening?
Mm-mm. I just want to get out of here. Please don't let them hurt me.
Don't worry. I'm not going to let anything happen.
I haven't had my trial yet. I shouldn't even be in here.
You mean they put you in here and you haven't even had your trial yet?
Yep.
God, that's terrible. I mean, how can they do that? I mean, you didn't even know you had cocaine, did you?
I didn't, I swear it. I met this guy at the bus station, and he came up to me and said that I looked like a person a stranger could trust. He told me that I could make $50 if I ran an errand for him. He'd accidentally left his briefcase in the park and said he had to catch a bus, but didn't have time to go back. And I was supposed to take it to a friend of his at a diner, but how in the world was I supposed to know that it was filled with cocaine, huh?
Who arrested you?
I don't know. Some young guy saw me, and I guess he thought that I was trying to steal the briefcase. He held me there till the police came, and I just want to get out of here and go home.
This is your first offense?
I have never done anything wrong in my life.
What about bail?
How am I supposed to get $10,000?
10,000?
Judge wanted to make an example of me, so he set the bail real high.
Well, that's absolutely terrible. I mean, you haven't even been proven guilty, and you've been thrown in here with a bunch of common criminals. Like me. Oh, God, why am I laughing?
You know, it's like a bad dream. Real bad dream.
Yeah. And unfortunately, I'm in it with you. But I think I can help you. Yeah.
How?
Well, my ex-husband happens to be the district attorney.
You're kidding.
No, I'm not. Of course, he's on a leave of absence now while he is defending me, but I'm going to talk to him, and I think we're going to be able to help you.
That would be really wonderful.
Good. Hold on to that thought, okay, and get some rest.
Okay.
Here you go.
Amazing grace, how sweet.
Then have a heart. If I don't get some sleep, I'm gonna die.
would you pipe down on that thingy? Jeannie is exhausted and she needs some rest. We could all use some rest.
Don't you like it, Dorian? It was one of Mitch's favorites before you killed him.
But now...
This isn't a prison. This is a lunatic asylum. Dorian, don't cross her. I'm not afraid of her. Susan, shut up!
'Twas grace that
Shut up!
my heart.
Matron! Matron!
Scream your head up, I'll help you. Matron! Matron! The murderer in cell block B wants you. Mayday! Mayday!
I can't believe this.
'Twas grace.
Tonight is the social event of the season, the annual Ponies Ball, and I, Dorian Lord, am in a prison cell listening to the fruitcake of the year sing her lungs out. Shut up!
Don't.
We all moved at once, we could jump them.
You could be killed.
Daddy, I'm scared.
Listen, man, there's enough ice here to sink the QE2. Let's get the hell out of here.
Cool it, hotshot. We're not finished yet. You just keep that gun pointed on me. I know how to show a girl a good time, don't I?
You're never boring, Brad. Wait a minute.
Hey, come on, it's a rented shirt.
Yeah, and this is my best dress, okay? So you just shut up and relax and take it easy. I think it's only a flesh wound.
I mean, I'm not going to get a Purple Heart.
Oh, will you stop showing up? Just lie still, honey.
It's like tying a steer at a rodeo.
Tell the world.
Got him?
Yeah, I got him.
That's right. Okay, that's good.
Oh, Cord, honey. I can't believe you did that. You could have been killed.
Tina, I had to do something when I saw Clint go for the guy with the machine gun. It's okay now.
God.
Oh, gee, thank God you're all right.
Did you see where they went?
Yeah.
They took off in some car that was waiting outside.
Did you get the license?
No, it was covered in tar. I couldn't even see the color of the plate.
You did a brave thing anyway, son.
Brave, it was foolish. I didn't want a dead son for a hero.
There's an ambulance on the way with police escort.
Honestly, the two of you could have been killed.
It takes more than something like this to hurt a couple old Texas cowboys, huh, Court?
You got that right, partner.
Well, I must say, you two were quite a team.
Yeah, we do make a pair, don't we? Sorry those other fellas got away.
Ladies and gentlemen, may I have your attention, please? The police will be here in a few moments. Now, try to remember everything you can about the gunman that got away so we can help the police, no matter how trivial you think it is. All right? And in the meantime, I suggest you make out a list of those things that were taken from you.
How do you feel, sweetheart? All right? How you feel?
Never better.
Oh, boy, was it nice to get away from all those people. I felt like the whole world was staring at us.
Well, that whole place had eyes only for you. You're the most beautiful woman there.
Oh, that had nothing to do with it. They were all looking at Mrs. Asa Buchanan and wondering what she was doing with Pete O'Neill.
Well, if the truth be known, they were so busy appraising each other's jewels, they didn't know who was in that room.
Well, thank you very much for bringing me home. I hope it didn't spoil your evening.
What makes you think I'm not having a nice evening now?
Well, I was just afraid that it might have ruined it for you.
No, Pam, what you're afraid of is that Ace is going to find out you were with a man when he was out of town.
I am not Asa Buchanan's slave. I'm also not his doormat nor his prisoner.
Okay, don't call the butler. I'll throw myself out.
No, I can't. The butler's off along with the other servants.
So we're alone, then? That is, unless you think Ace is hiding behind the armoire.
Asa does not hide. Excuse me for a moment. I'll see if there's a message on the answering machine. Darn.
No messages?
No, I haven't heard one word from him since he left. I guess he must be really miffed.
That upset you, huh?
Of course it upsets me.
Well, maybe Ace has another wife and he's off in L.A. playing Captain Paradise.
Pete, that is not even funny.
Okay. Because I can't get any laughs, let's change the subject. But can we please not talk about Asa?
Why, does it bother you that much?
Yes, it bothers me, Pam. It bothers me that you worry what he thinks, what he doesn't think. It's as if he dominates your entire life.
Well, maybe that's because he's my husband, and I love him.
Well, I don't love him. But it's easy to see why he loves you.
Maybe we better change the topic.
Okay. Why don't we talk about everybody's favorite topic of conversation, Tina Lord Roberts?
Oh.
The $5 grand that she pledged tonight?
Wasn't that incredible?
Boy, it really got to court.
No, it didn't. I was watching him. I mean, he winced a little bit, but he really took it in his stride.
Maria didn't. She looked as if her son had been sold into slavery. I keep wondering why Maria has such contempt for Tina. What? What did I say now?
Nothing.
All right, what's going on here?
Matron, I demand to see the warden.
Oh, and what's your complaint this time?
This place. It's intolerable.
Well, excuse me, Your Highness. We're a little short on help.
It is all so filthy, and it's overcrowded, and then Mitch Lawrence disciple across the way insists on disturbing everybody with her obscenely loud singing.
Oh, was it too loud, Dorian? I didn't mean to offend anyone.
Oh, come on. You offend everybody.
You know, I was taught that a soft answer turneth away wrath, but I guess that doesn't hold for a murderer like you.
You cut out that pious act of yours. Everybody knows you're a fraud and a liar.
All right, call it!
You're just going to make it worse. I don't care. This place is a living hell.
Matron, don't you think she's beginning to show violent tendencies?
Don't you talk about violence. You're the one who tried to burn my daughter at the stake.
Your daughter is a wanton sinner just like you.
That's enough, both of you. And as for you, Dorian, I am going to notify the warden that you are inciting these women to riot.
She was not. Oh, don't defend her, Diane. She'll only lead you to sin.
Wait a minute. Matron, you can't just walk away. I have a legitimate
Amazing grace.
I told you to stop that singing, and I want you to stop. Shut up! Just that saved a wretch. I can't take it. I cannot take it. Not another minute. Shut up!
Mr. Sanderson.
They stole my wallet with all my credit cards and a gold clip with $2,000 cash.
You always carry around $2,000 in cash?
No. I usually carry more.
What did you have to give up, Mrs. Roberts?
My emerald and diamond necklace, my 2 emerald and diamond earrings, and my emerald and diamond bracelet.
What was the value on that, please?
$20,000.
Oh, my God.
Was it insured?
Oh, no, my husband just gave it to me this afternoon.
I never got a chance to insure it.
Please, you just got to catch these thieves.
Yeah. Did you notice anything that might help us identify them?
No, I didn't notice anything except him putting my $20,000 jewelry into a garbage bag.
Mr. Roberts, how much did you lose, sir?
Whatever I had in my wallet. It wasn't much.
I can imagine. After spending $20,000 for a necklace. Did you notice anything about the perpetrators that you might want to tell us?
Yeah, well, I think I gave you a partial description of the guy who shot Brad Vernon.
You ready for this, Mike?
Okay, he was about 5'11". He had a slender build, but he looked like he was pretty athletic. And blue eyes.
You got a pretty good eye for detail.
I hope you didn't lose anything as valuable as Tina's necklace.
I'm afraid I've lost something far more valuable than that.
What's that?
My son. Tina has already put a price tag on him.
Next. Step up, please.
Any losses to report?
Yes, I've lost 2 things that I treasured very much. My gold wedding band and a silver and turquoise bracelet.
Was it a very expensive bracelet, ma'am?
I believe it was. Why are you laughing?
I bought that years ago. I paid a fast $10 for it, Maria.
Well, it was very precious to me, Bucky.
How are you feeling, sweetheart?
I feel very shaky.
Well, that's a very natural instinct.
It reminded me of those awful police raids at the Waterside Inn when they were searching for drugs. Everybody was so scared. It was nothing compared to what I felt when I saw you go after those robbers. I was so afraid I'd lose you, Daddy.
Hey, sweetheart. Well, I'm with you now, and I'm staying right here with you.
Yeah, but why did you have to risk your life?
I didn't really. It was a conditioned reflex. I guess I picked that up in the Marine Corps.
You were very brave.
No, I wasn't, honey. I just don't like people violating my rights, that's all.
I feel like I'm hearing a ghost.
Why'd you say that?
All those words could have come from Joe Riley. When Vicky gets back from Phoenix, she's not going to believe it. She's going to think her first husband came back from the grave.
What was taken from you, Mrs. Sanders?
About $400 in cash, a pair of gold cufflinks, an antique gold watch and chain, and my wife's jewelry.
What would you say would be the total value, sir?
Well, the watch was an antique. It belonged to my great-grandfather, who was a United States Senator. And the other things, a total of about $150,000.
What is it?
I saw the police list. Our son lost $2,000 in cash.
Poor boy.
Poor boy. Where did he get that kind of pocket money?
Are you suggesting I gave it to him?
That's what you do when you compensate when you haven't given enough of yourself to him.
Judith, you have to stop competing for his love.
I don't have to compete, Charles. I earn it.
And I?
You buy it.
The Ice Queen strikes again.
How would you know? You haven't been near me in almost a year.
I don't want to get frostbite.
Of all the damned terrible things to have happened to us, darling, when we were having such a good time.
Yes, darling. At least they just took material things. We still have each other.
To love, honor, and lacerate.
Till death us do part.
Is that my medical chart, or are you writing your girlfriend?
It's permission for us to operate.
Operate? For what?
We're gonna have to cut a couple of inches off your racing form, sticking out from under your blanket.
Get serious. How am I?
Lisa's diagnosis was correct. You have what's commonly known as a flesh wound, and you're damn lucky.
Well, in that case...
Hey, you,
Hey,
get back
up.
into that bed.
Where do you think you're going?
I got a date with a beautiful lady.
Not until tomorrow you don't. We're keeping you overnight for observation.
For what?
Just to make sure you don't develop septicemia or any other complications.
Well, I've got enough complications for one night. You're lucky, Doc. You missed the pony ball.
Until you came in, I was just sitting around here all sad.
Well, you missed the biggest social event of the season. All the best crooks were there.
I could have lost my best and only pair of cufflinks and my Mickey Mouse watch. Here, take these.
What is it?
Sulfur to prevent infection.
Go on.
Yeah. Any more surprises?
No, that's all for now. If he tries to get up again, smack him with the bedpan.
Oh, well, I can think of a lot more interesting ways to keep him in bed.
Yeah.
Not allowed in the hospital.
Oh.
Listen, folks, I got to get on to my other patients. Excuse me.
Thank you, Josh. Okay, you, I'm gonna let you sleep a little bit, and I'll be back later, all right?
Hey, wait a minute. During the robbery, you said one of those robbers, the one who shot me, looked familiar?
Yeah, he did. Only I can't pin it down. But there's something really familiar about him. It's almost like I knew him.
What was it? His voice, gesture, stance, what?
You know, I don't know. It was just, I can't figure it out. I can't come up with anything specific.
Well, try harder. That's one monkey I want to settle with.
Oh, come on. Why don't you just leave this alone? Would you please tell me why you always have to be the hero? And why you had to be shot?
You know I knew this was going to happen.
Now, how did you know that?
The way an elephant knows it's time to go to the graveyard. My gut has been telling me all week that my luck is going to change.
Gambler's superstition.
Maybe. You know, for a while there, Lady Luck was perched right on my shoulder. I had a winning horse. I beat the odds in Vienna. I had you. But lately, I've been feeling like it's all slipping away. Like a jockey whose horse is quitting under him.
Yeah, well, I'm not quitting on you. So, how can we change your luck?
Well, for starters, you can help me nail the guy that shot me. And in the meantime, I'd settle for another kiss.
I'm telling you, man, this is absolutely crazy to bring the loot here. I mean, suppose somebody comes in here.
The joint's closed. Relax.
Relax. Relax. I'm the one who shot the guy tonight, remember?
Look, it happens.
It happens. What if this guy dies, huh?
Hey, case closed. Looks like we did pretty good here, kid.
Are you hearing me? What if they arrest me?
Look, first of all, they have to prove that you were there, right? Just relax. Look at this baby. Man, this is worth 10 grand if it's worth a penny.
What about Hugo?
Hugo's busted. He'll pull a fan, maybe a double fan. He'll be out on parole in 3 years.
A fan? Mm-hmm.
Now, if I can fence this...
Listen, man. Hugo, if he spills his guts, he spills us too. Do you dig?
Look, Hugo knows that if he talks, he's dead meat. Besides, his share will be waiting for him when he gets out.
I can't believe this. I cannot believe this. One night I let a couple of punks hustle me into doing a cocaine drop, and the next night I'm shooting my way out of a jewel heist.
I'd say you moved to the head of the class. Now you can become a full-time partner.
I don't want to be a full-time partner. I don't want to be a partner. I want out. I want out right now. No more capers, no more drug deals. OUT, out.
Now, you listen to me, all right, you little punk? Now, Hugo's busted, and I need another partner. And you're it. You understand me? Now, you've been involved in a drug drop. You've robbed a lot of rich people, and you've just blown away a citizen. The way I see it, you're looking at 30 to life. And not to mention a brother who might wind up as a bird seed. So you better relax, because you're part of the firm now. It's just you and me, you understand?
Well, Miss Lord, the matron tells me that you've been making a big commotion over at Cell B Block.
Asking to see the warden is one of the few rights I have left, I believe.
Oh, yes, you can ask to see the warden anytime. I pride myself on running a model prison here. And though it isn't exactly a country club, the women's section has received a lot of praise in the press. Sit down.
Thank you. In my opinion, Warden, your prison is a hellhole.
That's a serious charge, Miss Lord.
I'm well aware of that. And I intend for the rest of the world to find out about it.
Miss Lord, suppose you tell me exactly what you find so awful here.
So many things, Warden, that I had to make a list. Number 1, overcrowding. There are 3 women in my cell. There are 4 in most of the others. You and I both know that's against the law.
Miss Lord, the influx of criminals necessitates such conditions, unfortunately.
Yes, does it also necessitate bad food, filth, indifference on the part of the guards and the matron, and the presence on my floor of a religious fanatic intent on avenging the death of Mitch Lawrence by killing me?
Prison is not supposed to be a day at the beach.
Nor is it supposed to be a day in hell. Now, what do you intend to do about my list?
Well, I can assure you that I will personally check out each and every one of these items on the list.
You will?
You seem surprised.
Frankly, I am. And what do you intend to do after you look into it?
If they are well-founded, I will take them to the proper authorities. You have my word on that.
I must say, this is the most encouraging thing that has happened to me since I was sent here. Unjustly, may I add.
Of course. Well, if that's all.
No, that's not all. There's one other thing.
What is it?
There's a young girl that is in the cell with me, a girl named Diane.
I know her case.
Don't you think it's absolutely unconscionable that she has been sent here to a maximum security prison when she hasn't even had a trial yet?
A courier for a major drug ring is far from innocent. However, I did not remand her here. The judge did. I am just the warden, and I can do nothing about it. Now, if there is nothing else...
There is something else. There is one other thing.
What is it?
I would like to know where the women prisoners are taken when they are removed from their cells in the dead of night and then brought back the next day utterly exhausted.
I know nothing about such activities.
Well, they come back. They're so frightened, they're even afraid to tell where they've been.
I told you I don't know anything about it.
Warden, I demand to know what is going on with these women.
Miss Lord, a convicted murderer does not demand anything here. Get her out of here.
Let's go, Dorian. Come on. Warden, do you intend to investigate the things on my list?
Yes.
Come on. Thank you. You see, there's something going on in this prison, and I intend to find out what it is.
Burn your little fingers. Oh, now don't you worry your little head, okay? Because Vince knows a guy who could fence the Statue of Liberty if you could steal it.
Well, I'm not interested in the Statue of Liberty. I want out.
Look, I already told you, no way.
Look, man, you don't need me, all right? I'm not gonna rat on you. I am in too deep to go to the cops or the law, so just let me out of this thing and take all this booty for yourself, all right?
No, because I like you, and I need a partner.
Oh, you
so
like
just
me?
button it up, yeah. Okay? We're home free. Who the hell is that?
Open up! Police!
Now, you just remember.
Right there.
If you decide to turn state evidence on me, I'll cut your brother's liver out. You got it? Now, you let him in.
Yeah.
Because I am a small-town cowboy, Tina. And, you know, sometimes I don't even know what the hell you are.
Well, whatever I am, I have just as much right to all the wonderful things in life as anybody else does.
Let me tell you something, Tina, you know? Your whole value system is so totally twisted that you put possessions above human feelings. You can't even understand what the difference is between having things and having feelings for people that...
I don't have to sit here and listen to this.
Damn little spitfire, you wouldn't even let me finish my last damn sentence.
Well, that's because your last damn sentence was stupid.
Oh, you want to talk about stupid now? You want to know what's stupid, Tina? This whole damn argument is pretty stupid, you know that? Well... Well, looks like we just had our first fight, honey.
I know. What was it about?
I can't remember.
Neither can I.
Well, it must have been something pretty stupid.
So after my little talk with the warden, I think we're going to have a big shake-up around here.
Yeah, and you'll probably be the one to be shaken up.
No, really, he listened to everything I had to say, and he said he'd look into everything on the list.
If Grandma had wheels, she'd be a wagon.
Jeannie? Jeannie?
So tired. What?
Listen, I talked to the warden, and I told him about your being taken away at night, and I demanded a full explanation.
I told you not to get us in trouble, Dorian.
You're already in trouble.
And you're making it worse.
I don't understand what's going on here. I thought I'd get some applause or something for sticking up for all of you.
I think you were very brave, Dorian. Thanks for sticking up for me.
It's okay, kid. I'm going to see to it that you don't have to spend another night in this snake pit.
Dorian,
Yes?
the blessing of the Lord be upon you, sister, because you're going to need it.
Come on in.
You sure took your good time getting to the door.
Well, we were out back.
I bet you were. Who's this guy?
This guy right here is Vince. He's a musician outlaw of mine, and we were just sitting around rapping about when he's going to do a gig here at the club.
Uh-huh. Well, I saw your car out front. I figured it'd be a good chance to catch you.
Well, it looks like you did.
I want to know what it's all about.
What?
Come on, now. You made a call to the captain this afternoon. What's it about?
Is that what you're here for?
Oh, come on, now. Quit playing games. Why'd you call him?
No, I mean, that was nothing. I mean, it was urgent only that we just needed a cop to come by. We wanted somebody to do security, you know, in their off time. Moonlighting.
You interested, Mike?
I figure this is a wild goose chase. Let's get out of here.
Well, listen, I'm sorry. I didn't mean for you to come out. Thanks.
Now, why would somebody call a police captain the night he's gonna pull a job?
Easy. I wanted to make sure they thought that I was here and not at the pony's ball, okay? Because who calls the cops just before they're gonna do a job, huh?
I guess you're right. Besides, now that you Snow the lieutenant, you're in up to your eyeballs.
Do it any way you want. Just make sure they can't pin it on us. I want Dorian Lord silenced before she can go public.
No problem.
What neat.
You remember that inmate I mentioned, Susan? Well, I think that she would give up her parole for a chance to ice Dorian Lord.
Well, see that she gets the chance.
Clint? Oh, Tom. Come on in. Help yourself to a cup of coffee.
Thank you. Any word on these goons that held us up at the ball last night?
Well, no, not yet, but Brad Vernon's on the mend.
Oh, good. Good. I'm pleased to hear that. Well, Mary Lynn and I went over to Lambview University this morning. She's enrolled for her sophomore year.
Oh, well, at least her life's on the mend.
Seems that way. Mind you, I'm not about to rush off back to El Paso. I'll stay around a while to make sure she is all right.
Oh, well, you kind of sound like a man who might be looking for a job.
Job? No, no. I've saved enough money to last me, 3, 4 hours.
You saying you don't want to work?
You ever hear a newspaper man say that?
Why? Quit your job at the El Paso Journal and hit you on here at the Banner.
I didn't realize you were so desperate for brilliant reporters.
Well, I'm not, but I could find a place for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Tom, experienced reporters with a fresh perspective are always welcome, and that was a hell of a piece you did on Dorian.
You're not offering me this job because I'm, or possibly could be, Joe Riley's brother now.
Well, that has something to do with it. And if you're half the investigative reporter that Joe was, the Banner will be gaining a first-rate journalist.
Do you suppose that any of our fellow inmates was a manicurist before she came in here? That'd come in handy, wouldn't it? Huh? What do you think? It's my usual color, jungle red. Rather suited to our primitive environment. I think it goes well with the new neutral tones of my fall wardrobe. Oh, come on, honey. You're really in a depression, aren't you?
Give me a reason why I shouldn't be.
Yes, I can. For one thing, I am pretty certain that my ex-husband and my daughter are going to be visiting me here today, and I'm going to tell him all about you, and I'm going to see if he can't get you moved to a minimum security facility.
You really would do that for me.
Why not?
You don't even know me.
I happen to be a very good judge of character, and I knew 5 minutes after I met you that you didn't belong in here. Of course, I don't belong in here either, but I've got a lot of people who are working very hard to get me out. In fact, my ex, Herb is his name, he's going to try and appeal my bail, so I may be out of here in a week.
And I really would be scared without you around.
But you're not listening to me, are you? I am going to get you out, too. Look who just walked in. Do you suppose that through those headphones she can hear the voice of Mitch Lawrence from hell?
New magazines, girl.
Speak of the devil. Oh, my! 1984. Such a good year for magazines.
Babe. Yes, ma'am. I want to talk to you.
I'm glad, though. See, I talked to the warden yesterday about Mitch Lawrence's handmaiden over there.
Yeah.
I'm pretty certain that Matron Spitz is telling Susan to leave me alone.
sorry, kitten. Bail denied.
So what do we do now?
I don't know. It's twice now. It's obvious to me the judge is scared to death he'll be accused of coddling a wealthy socialite if he looks favorably.
What does that mean? You said that it could take months to get a hearing to appeal the conviction. Doesn't that mean that she has to be in prison for months?
No, honey, I'm afraid so.
Dad, how is she going to survive?
Giving you a job, Tom, would be kind of a way for me to pay back a favor Joe did by hiring me and introducing me to Vicky.
What about your wife, the publisher? Doesn't she have anything to say about that?
Yeah, but she knows I wouldn't hire a bad writer. Still reluctant to take it on?
Yeah, a little bit, for personal reasons.
All right, try this on for size. How about working on an assignment-by-assignment basis, the same way you did on that Dorian piece?
Well, sounds good.
If you change your mind and want to sign on with the staff, just give me the word.
You got the word. Put me to work.
All right, good enough. Now, look, when I was talking to Lieutenant Moore this morning about the robbery last night, we got off into a discussion on dope, on drugs. Statistics here show that crack is becoming a problem right here in Landview.
If it's not phony preachers twisting young minds, it's sidewalk drugstores.
Exactly. Now, the cops sure as hell want to find and close down the crack factories before we have an epidemic on our hands, and so do I.
Don't we all?
Yeah. Now, look, this could be dangerous. The people behind this are ruthless.
Yeah, I know it's dangerous. That's why I don't intend to let them catch me.
All right. It's your baby. I would suggest that you start with Statesville's newest inmate, Diane Bristol.
Is that the young lady Cord caught passing the briefcase to that guy?
That's her.
She claims she's innocent.
Yeah, and she's just a kid. As a matter of fact, she's about your daughter's age. Now, what I was thinking, Tom, is kind of a father figure thing. Might be able to learn more about it than the police.
I'll do my damnedest. Use your phone, please. Yep. I'll call the prison, try and make arrangements to get in and see her.
All right, now, if you can, see if she knows Dorian. And if she does, see how Dorian's doing so far, will you?
To Mitch Lawrence's #1 disciple over there. Makes me feel better.
Good. Looks like you're the only one around here who's has the courage to speak up about anything.
Usually the inmates learn pretty quickly, but I have a feeling that Dorian Lord is never going to learn. She's going to end up creating chaos around here, and I do not want to have to deal with it.
I know what you mean.
Now, if we could catch Dorian breaking the rules, I could put her in solitary confinement. That usually turns lions into purring little pussycats. You, on the other hand, Susan, are turning into a model prisoner.
Oh, I've been trying so hard, Matron.
The warden, he's aware of it. Keep in mind, Susan, that if you please those in charge, you usually get out early for good behavior.
So if I try and make sure that things around here don't get too chaotic, I would get extra points?
Ah, you certainly would. Certainly would.
Guess what, kids? Lunch in the lounge today. They're taking the cafeteria.
Oh, what designer color?
Mud gray.
Ooh, same shade as the meat.
Dorian, something I wanted to ask you. How is Vicky Buchanan doing?
Just fine. Why do you ask?
Well, she was my friend when she was Nikki. And I was there when she turned back into Vicky, too. I even helped.
Really? Do you also hang out with Princess Di and Fergie?
No, it's true. You can ask her if you don't believe me. Is she happy with Clint now?
Yes. As a matter of fact, she's having a baby.
Ooh.
Oh, who's that?
Oh, that's Roberta Cole from Cell Block K. But everybody calls her Tiny.
Sure, why not? What's she in for?
Well, nobody knows for sure, but she's been here a long time. Don't cross her, okay?
Do I look suicidal to you?
Hey, Tiny, did you eat with us today? Well, that's good. We weren't hungry anyway.
What are you doing? I was...
Be my guest.
Oh, just like that.
And nobody objects?
When Tiny wants, Tiny gets.
Oh, sure. Yet another one of those rules around here that has no basis in fairness.
Just helps keep you alive longer.
Yeah?
Tiny can't really read, but she looks at the pictures. And she's mute, but she can hear.
I see. In other words, she just communicates with brute force.
You got it.
Hi, Tiny.
But I couldn't believe it. I wanted it so much. Every passing day that I think of Mom in jail, I just feel more and more guilty. I should have never gone to the Waterside Inn in the first place.
Well, no,
Oh,
Cass.
boy, I mean, this would have never
Cass,
happened.
Cass, well, it did happen. It was a foolish thing to do, and let's hope you learned a lesson or two from it. But look, drowning in guilt is not going to help your mother.
Oh, well, then
okay?
what is? Nothing. You know how helpless I feel?
Well, of course, because there's nothing you can do now. So maybe you could go back to school and be constructive with your life. Well,
No,
at
I
least
couldn't.
make your mother feel better.
There's no way I'd be able to concentrate.
Well, I mean, what about her suggestion that you visit David and Jenny?
Oh, and have fun. Oh, that wouldn't make me feel guilty at all, would it, Dad?
Yes.
Hi, Herb. Cassie. Bail rejected.
Yeah.
Damn. How can they claim she's a menace to society? Herb, can't you use a little political muscle on this?
What do you think I've been doing?
Well, I don't know. I don't see any results.
You could have used a little family muscle and stopped your sister from protesting bail. That would have helped considerably.
I don't have any control over Judith.
Yeah, well, I don't exactly control the judge either, you know?
Could we stop it? This isn't going to help my mother either.
I'm sorry, Herb.
Yeah, me too.
Look, Dad, despite the bad news, I still want to go up and see her today.
Oh, she'll want to see you, baby. John, you want to join us?
No, thanks, Herb. I've got an appointment with Adrian LaRue's doctor, see if any progress is being made on his case, bringing him back to his senses. So, I'll see you later. Cass, and give my love to your mother, huh?
Last time I checked, I don't think I was hired to wait on you guys. You want to come here and help?
Sure.
Sorry.
I don't think we ever met. My name is Susan Bates. Do you like music, Tiny? This is my tape player, and you can borrow it anytime you want to, like right now. I have some old rock and roll tapes that I never listened to, but you might. Listen, have you met that new rich lady who's in here for murder? She's really an awful person. I hate her.
What? No separate salad forks?
Well, salad is only served on Sundays, but then you have to eat it with a spoon because it's mixed in with the gelatin.
Along with all the other leftovers from the week.
We call it nouvelle garbage.
Tiny, whenever I see you, you're alone. Everyone needs a friend. Can't we be friends?
And today's mystery meat is meatloaf.
Served with mashed potatoes and green beans. Now, if you see a green blob on your plate, don't just assume it's the green beans. It might be the mashed potatoes.
I'm really starting to lose my appetite, ladies. Couldn't we just send out to some gourmet shop?
Leave me alone. I want no friends.
Diane Bristol?
Yes, matron?
You have a visitor.
I do? Didn't I just say that? Do you know who it is? I didn't check his resume. Come on, move it. Does the kid have any family?
Yeah, I think so, because she said she ran away from home, but she doesn't talk about them much. Think I'll go wash my hands before dinner.
You'd be better off putting on gloves so the food doesn't contaminate your hands.
Would you stop?
Listen, if you can't keep your feet... Accident. Excuse me.
Who is it? Your partner. Well, now, how are we doing, Chipperoo? Oh, terrific. Just terrific. Every sound I hear, I think it's the cops coming to arrest me for armed robbery and shooting Brad Vernon.
Well, I heard on the radio that he's going to be okay. So at least you don't have to worry about being arrested.
Oh, good.
What about the jewelry?
Here, I got it right here. 50,000.
Is that all?
Listen, I had to argue like hell to get that, man. The fence claims the property is so hot that he's not going to be able to move it for months, and even then, not on the East Coast. Listen, you don't believe him? You go ask him yourself.
Look, I believe him. And you, okay?
Okay, good. So listen, can I go back to running my club and doing my gigs, which is what I do now?
Sure. Until we need you again.
Oh, man. What are you saying to me? That I'm in this until you guys go down?
That's right. Except we're not going down. No, we're going to keep on making money. And more until we get the crack flowing into this town. You hear me?
Yeah, I hear you. So if I'm going to be in this thing, I deserve to get paid, don't you think?
Yeah. I don't have any problems about you making some money. How does, 5,000 sound?
Fine, just...
Oh, and I forgot to bring the paper over. There was a big article about the robbery and how you were a hero.
I'm not a hero. I'm just lucky I was shot in the side, not the heart of the head or something.
Well, now, isn't that a sign that your luck hasn't totally run out? You were pretty down about that yesterday.
I'm not exactly up about it today. I have nothing going. Lucky Opal has lost it. So has her owner.
Oh, come on, Brad. We have each other, and we have a lot to look forward to.
Yeah, like what?
Like marriage.
That comes under the heading of hitting a guy when he's down, doesn't it?
Oh, thanks a lot.
Well, look, I'm lying here worried about my next 5 cents, and you're talking about supporting you and kids in a house?
Whoa, I can support myself, thank you. I'm not talking about kids and mansions. I'm talking about us.
Well, fine. But before I ask you to become Mrs. Brad Vernon, I'd like to have more to offer you than just a slightly used last name.
Hey, that doesn't make a difference to me.
Well, it does to me. And the subject is not open for debate, okay?
You know, if I didn't know that you loved me so much, I'd say that you were giving me the runaround here.
Hey, how about a kiss? I mean, you come in and you visit somebody in a hospital room, you're supposed to raise their spirits.
All right.
Definitely better. You know, a couple more of those and I just might smile.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. All right. Just a couple.
Have you ever made love in a hospital bed?
Oh, no. I don't think the patient is up to it.
Are you kidding? It'd take more than a flesh wound to deter me. And this is an electronic bed, did you know? We can make it turn in all sorts of funny positions and stuff.
Wait a second, what if a nurse or a doctor or something showed up?
They'll be so embarrassed, they'll turn right around and walk right back out.
Oh, I'm sorry, you guys. I didn't think that... Well, bye.
Oh, wait a minute. Hold, Lisa. It's okay. We were just fooling around. I mean, you don't think that we would... I mean, in a hospital bed, do you?
Hi, are you not open today?
Hi, Dee Dee. No, didn't you hear we had some major plumbing problems and I had to close the place for a few days.
Oh, gee, I'm sorry to hear about that. But that's not why I'm here. I'm not here for lunch. I wanted to talk to you about something.
Okay, sure. Harry Smothers. I want you to meet Dee Dee Buchanan.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hi. He was just renting out the club for a private party.
Oh, that's funny. That's why I'm here, too. Mine's a birthday party. What's yours?
Hey, look, Chip, I gotta go, okay?
Okay.
And I'll call you and talk to you about it later.
Thanks. Sure, Harry. We'll work out those details, man.
Right.
Hey, friendly guy.
Shy, I guess, but he is going all out on his brother's bachelor party. So, can I get you a drink?
Oh, no, thanks.
Well, have a seat.
Okay.
How are you?
Well, I'm doing all right, considering I haven't heard from my husband.
But he's okay, yes?
Last I heard.
Good.
Last I heard.
How about Joy?
Oh, she's doing great. Look, why don't you come by the house and see her? Or better yet, come and have dinner with us tonight.
Dee Dee, Joy is not interested in me anymore.
Yeah, but you've proven yourself as a friend to her, especially when you carried her out of the waterside. And come on, I think you guys still have a chance.
Dee Dee, you say that almost as if you wish that we would, you know, and you wouldn't mind.
We gave you a pretty hard time when you first showed up. I know that. And all Joy wanted us to do is give you a chance to prove that you were a great guy, just stuck in some bad circumstances, which you have done. You really have. So I don't think any of us would object if you guys started dating again or just had fun as friends.
It's nice. That's really great. Thank you. Now, What kind of party are we throwing here, huh?
Birthday party. Birthday
All
party. I
right,
thought
all right.
if we threw a nice big bash, it would let her forget all about that mission and let her know how many friends really care about her.
Great idea. Name and date.
September 20th. Yeah, I tried to call you about it last night, except I kept on getting your answering machine.
Oh, right. Well, as I said, the club was closed, so I was out scouting new acts. Now, let me check my book here so that I can make sure that date's open. I think it is.
Did you hear about that robbery at the Ponies Ball last night?
Oh, yeah. Talk to me about that thing. Unbelievable. Listen, how's Brad doing, huh?
I guess he's okay. I'm going to stop over there in a little while, see how he's doing.
Good. Tell him I sent my best.
Okay.
What about those guys? Did they hear anything about them?
No, not so far. It's kind of scary. You're not safe anyplace anymore.
Yeah, it is. Now, look. It's wide open.
Oh, great. Great. Well, listen, I'll keep in touch with you, okay? And look, you stop by the house or come by for dinner, call Joy, anything.
Okay, I will. I will. Thanks, Edie.
Diane Bristol?
Yes? Who are you?
My name's Tom Dennison. I work for the Landview Banner.
I don't want to talk to any reporter.
Not even one that thinks you're innocent?
Do you?
Well, I don't know, but at least I have an open mind. On the other hand, the police seem to think you're guilty.
I don't understand. What difference does it make to you?
Well, I have a natural curiosity as a writer, but I'm also father of a young woman approximately your age. I'm concerned about drugs infiltrating this area.
Let me tell you something, Mr. Dennison. Drugs are insidious. I have never and I will never have anything to do with them, and that includes being a go-between for dealers or whatever they're accusing me of. The first time I ever saw this guy was at the bus station, and the only reason I did it was because I needed money.
I see. Why were you at the bus station?
Well, I just got into town, and I hadn't even gotten a place to stay, and by the looks of it, I guess I'm not going to be needing one for a while, am I?
Where are you from, Diane?
Someplace else?
Have you been in contact with your parents since you arrived here?
No, and I don't have to. I'm of legal age.
Yes, of course, but they might have been able to help you.
I don't want their help. I don't want anything to do with them.
I see. So you left home without their permission.
Listen, I don't have to be talking to you.
Please, I'm not grilling you for the police or for myself as a writer. I just happen to think that you're an innocent bystander.
Then you believe me.
Yes, I do.
So why don't the police?
I don't know. Diane, this fellow you delivered the briefcase for, do you remember what he looked like?
Oh, yeah. We talked for at least 10 minutes.
I see. Then you could describe him in detail.
I already did that for the police.
Well, would you mind doing it again for me? You see, while I'm investigating this thing, I might run across him. And it could help you get out of here.
Matron Spence isn't too bad. You ought to hear the stories from Selbot K about Matron Adams, right, Tiny? Runs a Sunday school over there, huh?
Susan, maybe you should get yourself transferred there.
I don't think so, Dorian. The Lord put me here for a special reason, to save your soul.
Were you normal before you met Mitch Lawrence, or was burning people at the stake something you kind of grew up with?
Oh, come on, you two, cut it out. We're having a peaceful luncheon here.
Fine, I'll change the subject. How about you telling me where you all go when the guards come and take you away tonight?
I think it's going to rain tomorrow.
Me without my umbrella.
Fine, but do you realize I could help you if you just confide in me?
No offense, Dorian, but you can't even help yourself. You know what I mean?
Look, I only have a few more months left here, and I don't want to take any chances. I want to get out on time.
Tell me, how'd you get into passing bad checks?
Oh, boy. I'm going to sound like everybody else here, but I'm innocent. I never wrote any bad checks. My boyfriend did.
Then how'd you end up here?
Oh, some lousy assistant DA trying to make a name for herself.
Oh, enough said. Oh, this is so disgusting. I cannot take another bite of this.
You're welcome.
Dessert is on its way, girl. You mean I don't get my lunch?
Hey,
Sorry.
honey.
You have to be here when lunch hour starts.
Now, wait a minute. She had a visitor. It's not her
If
fault.
you don't shut up, nobody is going to get any Boston cream pie.
You know why they call it Boston cream pie, don't you? It's made with Boston Bay water.
Oh, yeah, you take this. That's a nice size piece. If you need it. You're almost lucky you missed lunch.
Maybe I'm just hungry, but this isn't too bad.
Really?
Tiny? She didn't even have any lunch, and you're stealing her pie? Come on.
Go, kid.
I was sorry to hear about your appeal to free Dorian on bail falling through.
Yeah, another dead end. I just came from Adrian LaRouche, Shrink. He tells me the guy's still totally incoherent. Which brings me here, and this might be futile, too.
What is it? Something I can help you with?
Yeah, I'd like permission to go through all the back stories on Mitch when he was running the mission and the trial afterwards, too.
Well, what are you looking for?
I don't know. I mean, maybe something just to spark my imagination, get me thinking in a new direction, to find a missing piece that'll generate some new evidence or something. I don't know. If I sound desperate, you're absolutely right. I am.
You sound like a fella who cares one hell of a lot about the lady that's in prison.
Yeah, well, Dorian and I had a special relationship, that's for sure. You know, frankly, Clint, I'm very worried about her. You know, with that mouth and temper of hers, she's got a way of getting herself in a lot of trouble.
I see what you mean. Well, I was just on my way out to get a bite to eat. But let me take you downstairs and introduce you to Bottomley. He's in charge of the morgue.
Ah, great.
You know, I'm glad to hear that somebody on the outside is trying to free Dorian. Myself, I want to give her a medal for what she did.
I wasn't sure how long you'd be here, but I hope these would brighten things up for you.
Well, they do indeed. Thank you very much. Sit down.
Thanks. I just got back from visiting my dad in Statesville.
Oh, how's he doing?
Well, he claims he's doing okay, but I know he's just telling me that to make me feel better. He heard about what happened to you, though.
Oh, well, I'm sure that perked him up.
No, Brad, you're wrong. He has a lot of respect for you. And he knows what he did was wrong. He's never going to forgive himself for hiring that jockey who, caused Charlie's death.
Yeah.
But he had me come to give you an offer.
Like what?
Well, it seems he contracted to purchase some thoroughbreds before all of this went down. Obviously, they're useless to him now. Even if he got out of jail, he wouldn't be able to race them. So he wanted to know if you'd like to take over. Run the stables and hire the trainers and see if any of the horses are worth anything.
A whole stable? Well, that's kind of interesting.
Yeah, he said just come up with a price and call his lawyer and negotiate. I told him I wasn't sure if you'd consider it or not, but that I'd ask you anyway.
Well, that's really too bad because Brad's in a whole new line of work now and he's really not interested.
Whoa, Connie, wait a minute. The reason I wasn't interested is because I didn't have any choice, but a whole stable, that means I could stay in the racing game.
You would?
Are there any winners in the stable? I mean, they're not just the drugged-up horses your father was.
No. They're all thoroughbreds with potential, according to him.
Hey, this is great. This is exciting. I wish I could get out of here right now and check them out.
I'm so glad that you're happy about it. Dad will be surprised that you're accepted.
He's not the only one.
So look, I'll call the lawyer and tell him to call you, and then you just settle it from there, okay?
Great. Thanks, Lisa. And tell your father... Well, tell him I appreciate it.
Well, sure. Well, bye for now. Connie, you take care, okay?
Yeah, you take care, okay?
Now you want to tell me why you're so uptight about all this?
Why do you want to work with a man who you hate? I mean, is it his horses? Or is it his beautiful daughter?
Dorian, I'm not hungry.
Yes, you are hungry. Besides which, it's the principle of the thing.
Guess what, girl? Extra pie.
Wait a minute. You can have all of the pie that you want. You do not need to steal it from Diane.
Oh, no. All over her designer gowns.
Tiny? Oh, my God. Look out now. Okay. We're even, right? I've got pie in the basement. Get in there, Tiny.
Who started this food fight? Fine! I don't care if the entire cell block is locked up for a week without any privileges. It's just going to make my job easier. This is your last chance! Now somebody better tell me who started this mess! Dorian did it!
Well, she did. I mean, why should we all have to suffer for it?
Matron, there were mitigating circumstances.
I don't care! You are going to solitary.
No, wait. I can't let her take the blame for me. Susan's lying. I started the food fight.
Jeannie.
It's okay, Dorian. You don't have to say anything. Besides, nights in solitary will be a hell of a lot better than...
And what? And what were you
Johnson, come on, move it! All right, the rest of you get back to your cells. I'll assign the cleanup duty as soon as I take care of Johnson. And don't think you're going to watch any television tonight because you aren't. None of you! Come on, move it!
We don't rat. You do anything like that again, you'll be sorry.
This is really unbelievable. Another jealous tantrum over nothing.
Well, maybe it's nothing to you, Brad. You want to work for Barbarian, and you can't stand the guy.
I won't be working for him. I'll be working for myself. He'll just be paying me.
So that's our future. That's what you're building for our marriage. Great! Great.
What have you got against it? You didn't seem to mind it when I only had one horse.
Yeah, well, Lucky Hopeful didn't have Lisa in the saddle either.
Oh, this is unbelievable. I really can't deal with this, Connie. I really can't.
I see the way you look at Lisa.
Look, right. The way I look at any beautiful woman that happens to catch my eye.
Is this all the faith? All the trust you have in me after everything we've been through? Haven't I proved how much I love you?
You are jumping into this immediately, and no thought, no investigation, nothing.
I haven't signed a contract, but yes, I'm interested. 5 minutes before she walked into the room, I was freaking out about my life. Now suddenly my luck has changed.
Well, good. Maybe your luck has changed, but I don't see mine changing.
Ah, I need some exercise.
Good, fine.
Hi, Brad. How you feeling?
Hi, I'm fine.
Twice this happens to me today. I guess you guys haven't been in here telling jokes, have you?
Dee, why am I so jealous? I can't help it sometimes. I mean, maybe I'm wrong, maybe I'm not, but it just comes right out of my mouth.
Well, honey, what was he flirting with a nurse or a doctor or something?
No. Lisa Barron came in here and offered Brad a string of her father's thoroughbreds to manage, and Brad just loved the whole idea.
I don't get it. Why is that bad?
Dee, he'll be spending a lot of time with her.
Oh, and Brad's interested in Lisa.
Well, no, I don't think so. I mean, I don't know. But he certainly admires the way she looks, that's for sure.
Well, who doesn't? She's gorgeous.
Oh, God, it is me, isn't it? It's me.
I think I might break down when I see Mom in that prison uniform. Mr. Callison?
Yes.
I'm Matron Spitz. I'm sorry, but Mrs. Lord is not allowed any visitors today.
No, I got permission earlier today.
That was before the riot.
Riot?
Yes, the prisoner's engaged in a food fight. All privileges have been revoked for the day. Sorry you wasted a trip.
No, I'd like to talk to the warden about this.
Tomorrow morning, he's gone for the day.
Please, wait, don't I have a right to see my own mother?
You, young lady, have all the rights in the world. Your mother, however, threw hers away when she was sentenced to this place. Perhaps tomorrow.
Absolutely tomorrow.
Open up, it's Vince.
I saw your car and thought I'd stop in.
Well, man, it's midnight, it's very late, I'm working on a song, and I'm heavy duty into it.
Tough. The boss wants to see you.
What for?
Well, he just wants to have a little talk with you.
Well, great. Tell him he's welcome to come by any time.
Man, you still don't have your priorities straight, do you?
What are you gonna do, man? You gonna threaten my brother again?
No. No, I'm gonna threaten you. Now, let's go. You don't want to keep the boss waiting now, do you?
Who's awake?
Me? Me too.
I'm glad. I'm worried about Jeannie. Solitary confinement.
It's not that big a deal, Dory. She's alone, no one to talk to.
Sounds awful to me.
Isn't fair. It's Tiny who should be in there. She doesn't talk anyway.
Well, at least there's some justice. She and Susan are still cleaning the walls in the lounge.
Yeah, but Spitz will make us pay for it tomorrow. You shouldn't have done it, Dory.
Couldn't help it. Just couldn't take it anymore.
Get used to it.
Why should we? Tiny's a bully. If she didn't learn any manners at home, she's going to learn it here.
Are you nuts? Want to end up in a hospital with a lot of broken bones?
Look, if we all banded together, there's unity in numbers.
When are you going to learn this ain't the outside world?
Oh, believe me, I've learned it. But I mean, if we could just bring I don't know, a better way of living to this place. I mean,
Charlotte, wake up.
Come on, Charlotte. What's wrong?
Jeannie's in solitary, and you have to take her place. Now, come on.
Oh, no, I don't want to. I'm too tired.
Don't give me any more trouble. Come on.
Well, I think we're almost done, Tiny. All this because of Dory and Wright. You gotta admit, I tried to warn you about her. She killed a man of God, you know. And what's she doing while she's in here, huh? Depriving you of all the food that you need and deserve and getting the rest of us in trouble. Well, something ought to be done about her. Oh, we missed the whole section. You want Dorian to die? Well, I'll tell you what, Tiny. I'll be glad to help you get your revenge on her.
gotta tell you, it's really cruel and unusual punishment that they don't hand out antacids along with the food here. Charlotte's not back yet.
Well, maybe she's in the lounge.
No, if she were back, she'd be asleep. I just wish that the women would open up and confide in me where they're being taken late at night. I know I could put a stop to it. With Herb's help, I know I could.
Dorian, maybe you should take the advice of some of the others who've, been here a while and stay out of it.
I've got to find out what's going on or else I wouldn't be able to live with myself.
Well, it's your life that's got me worried.
Oh, there she is. Charlotte. Matron, I demand to know where that prisoner has been all night.
Shut up, Dorian. Listen, Lord, around here you're just another con and you don't make demands, got it?
It's got to be something unethical or illegal, or else why is it such a big secret?
You stay out of things that are none of your business around here, or you are going to be really sorry.
Oh, Matron, that shove, that threat, they go on my list.
Listen, you don't knock it off, I'm going to be the first one to make you.
Charlotte?
You think you're some little crusader coming in here to do what nobody else can do? Well, you're wrong. You're going to pull all the rest of us down with you.
Down? How much further down can you go? They're forcing you to prostitute yourself, aren't they?
That one, Dorian.
They're forcing you to become a sexual slave, aren't they?
I'm too tired to talk about this anymore.
I'm going to get to the bottom of this one way or another, so why don't you just level with me?
I'm too tired to talk about it, but I might get up the energy to get up and push your head through those bars.
Charlotte, stop yelling at her. Dorian is your friend.
There are no friends in here, Diane. We're all on our own. As soon as Miss Fancy Pants here gets sprung by her DA ex-husband, she won't look back. What? She'll go back to her rich friends and her rich life, and she'll forget all about us.
You just wait a minute here. I haven't known you all that long, but I do care about you. Or else why do you think I keep pushing this issue?
Okay, fine. You care about us so much, please quit blabbing about it and don't push it. Shut up and let me get some sleep.
Bristol, Young, get to the gym. Madam here has a visitor.
In the cell?
Charlotte needs her rest. She's got to get some sleep. I'll see my guest and the visitors.
I said move it!
I don't understand. Why do I have to see this visitor in here?
You know, it is only 10 o'clock in the morning, and already you have exhausted my patience.
Was it worth it?
Yes, it was exhilarating.
Well, howdy. You two look like you've been riding the range.
Just giving the horse a little exercise.
Oh, you should see these horses. They are beautiful. Tom, you've got to come with us sometime.
Well, if you'd asked me this morning, I'd have come with you.
Well, sorry about that. I thought you'd be busy.
Is that a hint? Don't you think I'm working hard enough? Go sit down. I have some coffee here.
Oh, great.
So I was just kind of interested in what Diane Bristol had to say. Did you find out anything the police didn't?
Oh, I'm convinced she didn't know there was any cocaine in that briefcase.
Oh, that's dreadful.
You know, putting her in a maximum security prison makes about as much sense as putting Dorian in there. Oh, by the way, Clint, they're cellmates, those two.
You're kidding?
No. Fact.
Oh, what'd she have to report on Dorian?
Well, it seems Dorian's becomes something of a rabble-rouser on behalf of the convicts.
Yeah. Well, she always was great at stirring people up.
Am I the only one that's hungry?
No, as a matter of fact, I am too.
Oh, then why don't I fry up some bacon and eggs?
Put hash browns in there and I'll be your guest.
Okay.
You know, I'm not going to be able to join you. I want to get a hold of Vicky before she and Joey leave the ranch house. But I'll catch up with you later. You take care. Maria?
Have a good day.
Bye. See you later, Clint.
Oh, I'm so happy to see you. Oh. How are you? How's Cassie?
Oh, you know, we were both here yesterday and couldn't get anywhere near you. Something about a food fight?
Oh, yeah, that's the least of my problems. How is Cassie?
Well, she's okay. I mean, none of us are in too great a mood, but we're sure as hell better off than you are.
Yeah, well, that doesn't take much. Come on, sit on my lovely bed here. By the way, come on, why did we have to meet in here?
I called the governor this morning. I wanted to have a private meeting with you, and that leaves the visiting area out. And I also told him I wanted to have a look at your cell. God.
How long have you got? I mean, how long can we talk?
You just talk. Don't worry about the time. Come on.
Oh, well, first of all, I kept asking, demanding to see the warden, McFadden, and they finally let me. He seemed very sincere, if somewhat patronizing, and now I've suddenly got my doubts because they haven't done anything about...
Well, maybe he hasn't had the time to do it.
Herb, would you just listen to me? Every night, around midnight, the matron comes onto the cell block, and she takes one of the women away.
What? To where?
I have no idea. The women won't tell me. They're absolutely terrified. I think they're afraid of being punished. My cellmate, her name is Charlotte Young, she was taken away last night. She wasn't brought back until 10 o'clock this morning. Doesn't that seem strange?
Well, yeah, I mean, it's peculiar. You have no idea what goes on?
The obvious one. Women are being used for prostitution. Beyond that, I can only imagine.
Yeah, maybe I'd better look into that.
Good. While you're at it, will you look into Matron Spitz? Because she's the one who comes and takes the women away and then brings them back. And she absolutely hates me because I keep demanding to know what's going on.
Yeah, Dorian, look, I get the feeling that you're not being discreet or careful at all.
Herb, I can't help it. My sense of outrage just absolutely gets the better of me. But just on to the next subject before we run out of time. Do you remember Susan Bates? They got her living in that cell right across the way.
Susan Bates is... What? You mean that... You're talking about the one that tried to burn Cassie and rob at the stake?
Exactly, and she's as much as promised to kill me to avenge Mitch Lawrence's death. And they put her on the same cell block with me?
Well, you should be moved right away.
Well, I don't want to have to move. I don't. I've made some friends here. I really... There's Charlotte and this kid named Diane. And that's another subject I have to talk to you about. This kid Diane, they say she's mixed up in some sort of a cocaine ring. She's innocent, Herb, not just of the crime. She's an innocent kid. She's naive. She's trusting, and she's scared out of her mind.
What do you want me to do?
I want you to get her out of here. She doesn't belong in a maximum security facility. Get her moved to a minimum security facility, and as soon as possible, before they make her one of the women that they take out of here.
Or you, for crying out
Come on, they
loud.
don't do it to me. I've got too many connections. That's probably why the matron resents me, and it's certainly maybe why the warden resents me.
Anything else?
Yes. When do I get to go home?
Thanks for coming over, Allison. Please have a seat.
Mr. Russell, I don't know what you could possibly want that I haven't already told the authorities or sworn to on the witness stand.
Herb Callison is working on the appeal to have Dorian Lord freed.
Already?
Yeah, the prosecution's case is full of holes, and you provide the biggest one.
I beg your pardon?
The tapes. Yeah, Cassie told me about them. Mitch kept a running diary.
Yes, I also told Cassie that I destroyed them,
All of them?
as far as I know.
What about the one the night of the murder?
I didn't know there was one.
And you're also not 100% sure that your version of the truth is exactly what happened that night, are you?
I'm almost positive.
Well, what if Mitch was about to rape Cassie? What about your feelings of Dorian's actions then?
I guess that it would be understandable.
Yeah. And not quite fair that she's rotting away in the prison for 5 years, is it?
Excuse me, Mr. Russell, this is starting to feel like the trial all over again.
Oh, there may be another trial. The retrial on appeal. Now, are you ready to swear, to admit one more time that your version of the truth is the whole truth and nothing but? Or maybe, just maybe this time, you'll admit that your version is colored by your love for Mitch and the fact that you were jealous over him wanting Cassie and her money.
Cassie, he wanted Cassie because of her money.
So I guess he didn't speak of you on those tapes. He was busy talking about his virgins and all the money he was raking in. Allison, it is going to come out in the trial if we do not prove right now Dorian's motives.
I told you, I didn't listen to the tapes.
And I don't believe you.
All right. I did know that Mitch had a small cassette player, and so that I assumed the tapes were his sermons, his philosophy, his ideas.
I felt that it was up to me to protect them.
To protect them? So you burned them to protect them?
That was to protect him. What I mean is
Yeah, I know. What you really mean is that you played a few of the tapes, and when those cassettes began to make your stomach turn over, when you found out about the real Mitch, you burned them so that the world would not find out. Yes, you were in love with a psychopath, and you found out the real nature of the man.
All right. I did find out. I found out just what he was like. But that was after he was dead, and that is why I burned those tapes.
Because you were ashamed for the world to know that you were in love with a man who was capable of drugging and raping a woman for her money. I'm sorry, Allison. I know it hurts.
Yeah. Do you know how much it hurts? Do you know what it feels like to be betrayed? To fall completely in love with someone who is a fake? Well, he betrayed me on 2 levels, Mr. Russell. 1, I believed in the mission, and 2, I loved him. I would have died of humiliation if those tapes had gone public.
Allison, was there anything on those tapes that would make you think that Dorian and Cassie were telling the truth?
I don't know. I guess it's possible that Dorian did have to kill him in order to protect Cassie. But I never saw or heard anything to that effect. You must believe me that I didn't lie about what I witnessed that night between Cassie and Mitch.
All right, I do.
So you see, I really can't help Dorian.
Maybe you can. Look, if Mitch used the word drugs on those tapes, your testimony might be the only evidence that the drugs existed.
Well, he was too smart for that. He never used the word drugged. He would say things like control or power. I mean, if the police had confiscated those tapes while he were alive, the only thing they could have proved was that he had low moral character. Certainly not that he was doing anything illegal. Oh, I can't believe that I ever loved him.
I know. Just take it easy.
I'm sorry. It's so stupid. I'm not crying for him or even for his other victims. I'm just crying for myself.
Nothing left but the appeal. John's trying to find some new evidence.
So with bail out of the question, it means I'm in here for...
Look, I'm calling in every favor I have to try to get this case in the docket as soon as possible. I mean, so...
I'll tell you, one thing that's good about this place being so chaotic is you don't have much time to sit around feeling sorry for yourself. Except sometimes here at night when they turn off the lights and have myself a good cry, and I think about you, and I think about Cassie.
Oh.
I wonder if the 2 of you are thinking about me.
Yeah, we're thinking about you, darling. We're dreaming about you. We're working about you. My God, you have a whole army out there slaving for you, but you know, you promised me before you came in here that you were going to be a model prisoner.
Yeah, but that's before I found out what model they were pushing this year in this place. You're not supposed to say anything. You're not supposed to hear anything. You're not supposed to... You're just supposed to keep your mouth shut. I mean, me, Herb, take abuse like that, even in a system that is designed to hand out abuse?
What about the food fight? What was that?
Oh, please, that's just an example of it. There is this gorilla in here that they call Tiny. That's her nickname. Her real name is Roberta Cole. You look into her, too.
Yeah, I should have brought a stenographer.
No, look, she's such a bully. She takes people's chairs, she takes their magazines, she takes the food off of their plate, and nobody here tries to stop her or teach her any manners.
Teach her manners? Dorian, this isn't kindergarten.
She was picking on little Diane, so naturally I stuck up for Diane, and then one thing led to another, and Jeannie. Oh, God, I haven't had a chance to tell you about Jeannie yet. Jeannie, it's this woman who's across the way. She's the one that most of the time they take out of here in the middle of the night. Well, Jeannie is the one who took the blame for the food fight. She said she'd rather go to solitary confinement than do whatever it is that they have got her doing
You know,
at
I
night?
almost wish that you were the one in solitary confinement, because you really have me worried. Will you take it easy with this Patrick Henry stuff?
Herb, I am not asking them to give me liberty or give me death. I am asking them for decent food. I'm asking them for a cell that is not right next door to Susan Bates. I'm asking them the reason why they take the women out of this prison at night.
Dorian, you're trying to start a revolution. Now just cool off on that a little. Let me see if I can do something about these things, okay?
Okay.
You promise?
I promise.
You always promise.
I mean it this time, all right? I want to be in one piece when you finally do manage to get me out of here.
Fine, so ease up on the mouthing off and try not to provoke Susan Bates or Tiny Roberta or whatever her name is.
Excuse me. Your visiting time is up.
Oh.
Oh, thank you so much, Matron. I'm not sure whether or not you have met my former husband, the former district attorney. Herb, this is Matron Spitz, our resident sadist.
Isn't she a laugh a minute? She's always joking, this one. Don't take any of it seriously. Okay, look, I'm just going to have 1 second, please.
You're really going to have to go, aren't you? Hug me tight. Tell Cassie I love her. And you? I love you too. Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for putting up with me.
Forget it. I'm just glad you feel better now. Yes? Oh, Herb, you're back. Did you see her?
Yes.
I was just leaving.
Allison's been real help for us, Herb.
Well, I'd like to speak to you myself. Would you mind waiting outside for a moment?
I've told Mr. Russell everything that I know.
No, actually, I would like to ask you a couple of questions about Statesville Prison.
Sure. I'll wait right out there.
Good, thank you.
So, how's Dorian?
Being very Dorian, therefore we have a lot to worry about.
Nice of you to drop by with the cheerful news, Herb.
John, I mean, she's got herself involved in all the other prisoners' lives and conditions on the prison. Get this. Every night a woman is selected to be taken out at midnight, and then she mysteriously returns the next morning. None of them will tell Dorian where they go or what they do.
Well, now, that couldn't be going on without someone in authority knowing about it, could it?
Well, it may go no higher than the guards, and maybe it does.
I guess it's prostitution.
Hers, too. It's the logical choice.
Yeah, well, get this. I called up earlier today to try and get an appointment to see Dorian this evening. They said no way. So I said, how about tomorrow? No. And the day after?
No. You got on. Frankly, it took an act of Congress for me to get in. Damn it, John. She's in trouble. There's no way we can get in there to help her.
Charlotte, come on, honey. You can get to bed.
Oh.
Get some sleep, okay?
I was sleeping just fine here. You gotta wake me up.
Well, since you're up anyway, I can tell you some good news. My visitor was Herb, you know, my former husband that was the former DA. I told him all about everything that's going on.
Who are they? Some tough chicks from another cell block. Let's go.
What? You mean we're supposed to forfeit our places because they're so tough?
Dorian, for once, just trust me.
Okay, come on, kid, we're going. Excuse me.
Charlotte and Diane can go.
You stay. Thank you so much for the invitation, Susan, but I'm going to have to decline. We've got a really heavy date in the recreation yard. Right, Charlotte? Diane? Okay. What's going on here?
There's someone to see you.
I just had a visitor, and I'm all talked out.
Well, that's all right, because this person doesn't talk at all. Tiny is very upset about what happened yesterday. Because of your selfishness, she didn't get her fair share of dessert, and it's made her very cranky.
Yeah, well, that was last night, and I'm certainly not one to hold a grudge just because Tiny acted like a selfish, grubby pig. What I mean is...
What you mean is you think Tiny acted like a grubby, selfish pig. Well...
Oh, come on. We're not going to have another fight. Are we?
The Lord said an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth.
If this woman so help me, if she lays a hand on me, I'm going to start to scream.
Well, why don't you go right ahead, because all the guards are taking a little break.
Tom Dennison.
Oh, you met Tom?
Met him. I spilled coffee all over myself. I almost fainted. Is that true? Is he really Joe's twin?
Things seem to kind of point that way, yes, Wanda.
The memories that brings back.
You said that you spoke to Vicky last night. Did you mention this to her?
Well, I mentioned Tom Dennison, but she didn't seem to know what I was talking about, so I just dropped it. How come you haven't told her about this?
I don't want her to go into a depression being reminded of Joe's death, Wanda. I mean, if she's going to be shocked by this, I want to be with her when it happens.
I think that she's going to be very happy that there's still some part of Joe that is still alive. I know that I am. You know, maybe that he's not Vicky's. Maybe I would have a chance with him. You didn't know that I was very much in love with Joe Riley, did you?
No, that's one story that must have gone by me.
Well, it's true. But in the end, it all worked out for the best.
I have to tell Clint how I feel about him.
I know your father is the warden at the men's prison facility, Allison. Do you have much contact with the women's division?
No, not very much. Occasionally I would volunteer to work in their library whenever I wasn't working in my father's office, but not very often.
Yeah. You know Warden McFadden?
A little.
What about his reputation of the women's facility?
They were both about the same. They were both fine.
Oh, fine.
Would you like to speak to my father about this?
I might call him. Were there ever any rumors about strange happenings at the women's facility?
Mr. Callison, in prison there are more rumors than there are bars. Oh, I just thought of something. I'm not sure if it's going to be of much help, but when Mitch was starting his crusade for religious conversion in Statesville and I was helping him, I decided that maybe we should spread it to the women's division. But Warden McFadden said that there were no outsiders allowed in there, no matter what their intentions, even though I was Warden Perkins' daughter.
Did you find that attitude unreasonable, given his position?
No, not really. I mean, they did have to be careful about who circulated with the convicts.
Yeah. Well, thank you, Allison. Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. I don't know if Mr. Russell told you, but I would like to help get Dorian Lord out of jail.
Oh. Remember that when I subpoena you to testify at her appeal.
If I have to.
Goodbye, Allison. Thanks again.
Mr. Russell?
Well, I just tried to call Dorian by phone. Guess what? Permission denied. Herb, I think they're trying to cut her off from the entire outside world. I mean, I don't think the governor will even be able to let us get in there to see her again.
If they have any idea what she told me, you're right.
Well, I've got a plan so that we don't sit out here powerless while her life's in danger. Well, it's up to you to make it work, because you're going to have to pull the executive order strings to implement it. I want to be made a guard on Dorian's cell block.
Now, wait a minute.
Now, look, just on a short-term basis, maybe long enough to save her life.
Oh, hey, well, if you put it that way.
Hey, it could come to that, you know.
Well, look, maybe if I call the governor and try to convince him that Dorian's really in danger and that you intend to investigate these comings and goings, maybe I...
There's the phone.
Tanya, you don't want to do this. Susan talked you into it, right? Get back, Charlotte and Diane. You know the rules.
What rules? We fight our own battles. No help.
No. This woman is twice my size. I don't stand a chance against her. Dorian, say your prayers. And don't miss when you swing at her with this chick. Wait a minute. Tiny, look.
and talk this over, all right? All right, you big bully. Come on.
Excuse me.
Oh, Maria.
Hi, Clint. Hello, Wanda. Hi, it's nice to see you again. If you come to do a once-over of the new nursery, I understand that your son is up there taking pictures of it for Vicky, huh?
Yes, he is, and I do want to see it.
Good. Okay, come on, I'm going. Let's go.
You go on, Wanda. I'd like to talk to Clint first.
Oh, sure. Okay. And there better not be 25 football helmets up there, because the child up there is just liable to be a girl, you know.
There's one helmet just in case. What'd you do, leave and come back?
Oh, no, I ended up cooking for Tom, and then we had a nice long chat until I decided that I wanted to come here and talk to you about something important.
Oh, really? Well, sit down. I'm expecting a call from Vicky pretty soon, so I'm probably going to be interrupted for a few minutes. Well?
I have no idea about how you're going to feel about what I'm going to say.
I'm intrigued by the build-up.
Well, first of all, the past has been plaguing me. I keep thinking about us as teenagers. I mean, you see, the feeling has come back, and I remember those feelings very clearly, and, well, since I've been spending time with you now...
Hey, Ma. Wanda told me that you were here.
Cord, you can't be finished already.
Oh, yeah, well, I know you were slightly exaggerating about how much stuff you had up there. It only took me about 25 rolls of film. Ma, you got to see this nursery. You can't believe it. All the stuff he's got up there, all the bright colors. Any kid is going to be happy up there, let me tell you. And he's got toys, clothes, all of it. You name it.
Well, I do want to see it, but Accord, Clint and I were just in the middle of a discussion.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt anything important here. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt anything like this. I got all excited talking about the nursery.
Well, you weren't interrupting me. It was your mother who was doing the talking. She was just getting ready to tell me something important. What is it, Maria? Go on.
Oh, no, it really wasn't that important after all. The nursery is certainly more interesting. Well, half the day's gone. I've got some things to do. Cord, give my love to Tina, okay?
Ma, that'll be a pleasure to do.
Maria, wait a minute.
Ken, I appreciate you meeting me here. There are several questions I'd like to ask you. Begin with this. Do you remember that picture? Tell me all you can about that man, will you please?
Well, I'll never forget him as long as I live. I mean, why do you think I was so shocked when I saw you at the Ponies Ball? I mean, I still don't know what you're doing here or where you came from.
Well, when I tell you about myself, you'll understand how anxious I am to find out as much as I can about him.
You want to fight? You're going to get one!
Don't let her get away with that, Tiny. Remember what she did to you? She stole your food and she threw it in your face and she called you a greedy pig. And remember, she got jealous and she has to be punished. You have to be
a pillow somewhere around here? Get it for me.
Right. Oh, this one?
Yeah. Come on, give it to me. She can't hurt you. It's a trick.
Oh, my, she's gonna mash you like a bug.
Charlotte, give me the pillow.
Wait a minute, what are you doing?
Shut up. Wait a minute, you're gonna strangle her. You're gonna strangle her. Then this is epilepsy. Haven't you ever seen it before? That's all it is. She isn't gonna die, is she? No, she's not gonna die. She's probably had to get like hundreds of times in her life.
It sounded like a death rattle to me.
Yeah.
You sure she ain't dying?
She's not dying. She's gonna be all right. She'll be back tomorrow.
Oh, my God. Dorian, get back. When she wakes up, she'll kill you.
No, she'll be too big.
Watch out!
I understand you had a seizure, but you're all right now. I'm sure you're kind of tired and need some rest. Do you want us to take you to the infirmary? Huh? Come on. Let's help her up. Let's get her to the infirmary. I put the pillow under your head because I didn't want you to get hurt. Here. Come on. Girls. Here you go. We'll take you to the infirmary, huh?
Maybe you don't have anything to say, but I do. To both of you. Vicky's coming home Friday, and I'm planning a welcome home party for her.
Oh, Clint, you are so thoughtful.
Well, it's been a rough month. In fact, if pollen season hadn't come to an end around here, I was thinking of moving the Banner editorial room out to Arizona and saying to hell with the local news.
I can understand that, especially with the baby coming so soon, huh?
Soon? Soon. If she stayed out there much longer, the baby would be born as a citizen of Arizona. Anyway, there's no way I'm not going to be with Vicky when the big event happens, no matter where that is. But the best place for a mother to have her baby is on home territory. Don't you agree?
Oh, you bet. Cordero was born right on our ranch, and my mother was the midwife.
Yes, and with Al pacing the floor, going crazy with worry and curiosity, just the same way I'm going to be, I suppose. Except the only difference is it's happening to me 20 years later than it does to most men. Anyway, the idea of holding my own baby is, well, you'll know that yourself one day.
Well, I plan to, just as soon as I can. You know, all this talk about having babies has got me thinking very seriously about making my ma a grandmother.
Oh?
Yeah.
Well, anyway, Vicky coming home means everything to me, and I wanted to share the occasion with all our friends.
Well, great. I would like to accept on behalf of myself and my wife.
Good.
You know, I've only been married a few weeks, but I still get the biggest kick out of saying my wife.
Okay, we'll see you all Friday evening early.
Perfect.
Oh, no, Clint. I mean, Cord is married to Vicky's sister, and of course he should be here, but it's a family get-together, and I think I'd be intruding.
Maria, come on. Now, if Cord's in our family, then his mother's in our family, whether she wants to be or not. Now, we'd love to have you.
Thanks, but I'll think about it, okay? Well, I'll see you later.
Yeah, goodbye, Ma. Did you get the impression that something was bothering her?
Yeah, I did. There was something she wanted to say to me, and she never got it said. I wonder what the hell it could have been.
Well, don't worry about that. That's one thing about my ma. She's real upfront. If she's feeling strongly about something, she'll let you know it.
Yeah, I know a lot about Joe Riley. We were very close. He was like a father to me. In fact, I used to call him Uncle Joe. That's why it's so weird to sit here and talk to you about Joe Riley when I feel like I'm already talking to Joe Riley. You still haven't told me where you came from.
Well, there's a strong possibility that Joe Riley is my twin brother. We were separated at birth, adopted by different families. So you can understand how important it is to me to find out as much as I can about it.
Well, of course I understand.
Okay, you're sort of pals with him, right?
Well, I don't know if you'd exactly say pals. I mean, Joe loved Vicky an awful lot, and that's why he let me stay with him in spite of a lot of things.
Such as?
Well, such as he didn't really approve of a lot of things I did back then. I mean, they weren't terrible things or anything. I just wasn't totally honest, and All right, I lied a lot, okay? But Joe would never let me get away with it.
You really had your number, huh?
Yeah, let's just say you get me a lot more honest than I probably would have wanted to be. That's why I've always wondered what would have...
Go on.
Well, I've always wondered what would have happened in my life if you'd lived. Look, I know you probably talked to a lot of people here and you found out that I have a little bit of a reputation. And I don't know, I wonder if Joe had been around to shake his head at me and say, Tina, what are you getting into now? I wonder if I would have made some of those same mistakes.
What kind of mistakes?
Well, how much time have you got? No, seriously, I do wish he'd been around to watch me marry Cord. Cord reminds me of him a lot. I mean, he's so honest and unselfish.
You know, getting people to talk about Joe is a very easy thing to do, but it's rather like listening to the life story of a saint. Seems everyone in Landview loved and admired the man.
I've never known anyone like him. And he and Vicky were so much in love, you know, it was like they were born to be married to one another. They loved each other so much.
Vicky must be quite a woman. Her husband, Clint, is as devoted a person as I've ever known.
Oh, yeah, they're terrific together. But I still can't imagine that Clint isn't a little bit worried about the kind of memories you are going to stir in Vicky.
Well, I don't know. I'm sure he's thought about that. He's secure enough in himself to, well, not to worry about that too much.
Or maybe he just hasn't gotten around to it yet. I mean, Clint's sweet and everything, but he's just not in the same class as Joe.
Well, that's a cheap shot, Tina. I mean, that's a lousy thing to say about a man who's made peace with you.
Well, I certainly believe you're Joe's twin now. I mean, he never would have let me get away with that either.
Huh? Well, I call him as I see him if I can.
Yeah, well, I would just love to be a fly on the wall when Vicky gets a look at you.
Hi, Richard. How you doing? Okay. Good. Man, I can't believe this. I was just over at Land Fair earlier today taking pictures of the nursery for Clint. He's got so much stuff in there. It's incredible. He's going to have to knock a wall out to make room for it all. Yet he keeps going to the store.
Yeah, he's really looking forward to the family, isn't he?
Yeah. Yeah, I guess that's how it is when you're looking forward to something your whole life and, well, it finally becomes a reality. I guess all expecting fathers feel that way. I can just imagine how I'm going to be when Tina...
Look, Cord, if you got some work to do, I suggest you get to it. If you want to talk about expectant fathers, do it on your own time, okay?
Look, just back off for a second, all right? Now, I know that was a real inconsiderate thing for me to say. I didn't mean, I'm just trying to make...
Cord, I've got a hell of a lot of work to do and not enough time to do it.
We all do, Richard, but I know that there is something bugging you, all right? I just assumed that the one thing we could talk about without getting into too much trouble was Clint and Vicky's baby.
Look, this has nothing to do with the baby, damn it.
I never said that it did. Why don't you just post a note out there on the bulletin board, huh? Listen to all the things that I can talk to you about without you blowing up in my face.
Look, Cord, I am telling
All right,
you...
look, the proofs are right here. I marked the ones I like. Pick the one you like.
Tell me the truth, Tina. You were going to go through with it. You were going to marry me until you found out that Cord was Clint's son and that he's going to be wealthier than I am.
Richard, please, now you promised me. Don't go back on your word. You said you wouldn't tell Cord. You know what a shock this would be and what it would do to him.
He's going to find out whether I tell him or somebody else does.
Yeah, but not now, not so soon. And Richard, he can't ever find out that I know. He can't ever find out that I know who he is and I didn't tell him.
Richard. You know, we are going to be in big trouble if we keep leaving things like this.
That's one way to put it.
Now, I know that you were all cut up about losing Tina. Especially since you lost her so close to the time when you were supposed to be married. But you got to believe me when I say that was not my fault. And I really think that enough time has gone by now so that you can stop being so damn mad at me.
Look, Cord, you may find this hard to believe, but I'm not mad at you. In fact, I never was.
Then what's the big problem here? You know, I see you in the city room and you're talking to some of the other guys and you're laughing and you're having a good time. It's like life goes on. But the minute you see me, it's like some buzzer goes off in your head.
Cord, I'm sorry that you feel that way. It's just that, look, things are very complicated.
Yeah? Well, look, as long as we're going to be working here at the same newspaper together, I think you ought to let me in on what some of those complications are.
The nursery is a fantasy every child should grow up in. It's like a fairy tale come true.
You don't think I overdid it?
Will you stop? It's beautiful and it's adorable, and Vicky's gonna flip over it.
Well, I hope it's a gentle flip. My baby's going to be born in a few weeks. Anyway, I almost forgot to invite you.
Whatever it is, I'll go.
Well, it's a welcome home party for Vicky on Friday. I mean, mainly family, but there are a few close friends, Tina and Cord. Vicky hasn't met them since they've been married, you know.
Ah, well, then in that case, Richard can't go then.
Why?
Well, it would not exactly make family peace if you had the three of them in one room.
Wanda, I know that Richard has been hurting over this thing with Tina, but he works with Cord every day at the paper. Now, they're all grown-ups.
I hope.
I'm not trying to force-feed family harmony to anybody, but even if the three of them don't get along, the three of them should. And maybe it's time they made a concentrated effort.
And what about that man who looks more like Joe Riley than Joe Riley?
Oh, Tom
We'll invite
Dennison?
him, yeah. And
Tom
his daughter.
Dennison? Well, I was thinking about it. I was going to, but I think maybe I should have a little more time to prepare Vicky for the shock. And I think Tom will understand.
Oh, I'm sure he will.
Hello. Anybody home?
Oh, Maria, I'm sorry.
My goodness, you were a million miles away. El Paso, maybe, huh?
A little bit of both. You had lunch?
No, but a coffee would be fine.
Waiter, coffee for the lady, please.
Thanks. So, what were you thinking about?
Oh, I was just sitting here reflecting on some of the strange paths my life has followed. But for instance, I'm here in Landview because your son fell deeply in love with a young lady that lives here who happens to be part of the same family that a fella who may turn out to be my twin brother belongs to. Now, that is strange, isn't it? Very strange.
Yes, yes. Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, how do you like working at the Banner?
Oh, good, good. Well-run newspaper. Very solid and modern ideas, and Clint is a superb editor. Oh, and by the way, your son Cord, the photographer, wonderful. Given the right breaks, I see a Pulitzer Prize in that lad's future.
Oh, that's good to hear, coming from an old pro like you. I always thought Cordetta was gifted, but what's the discount for a prejudiced mother?
In your case, very little. 10%, no more.
And how do you like living at the carriage house? Is that not the most beautiful estate?
Yeah, isn't it, though? It's like the rich folks live. The thing I appreciate most, though, is Clint's gesture of friendship, allowing us to stay there just at the time Mary Lynn and I need somewhere to
How is she, by the
way? She's fine. She's riding almost every day, almost back to her old self again.
Well, sounds like Landview is being very good to the both of you.
It has. However, I think it's time to get back to El Paso.
Back? Tom, what are you talking about? You can't leave now.
About my staying in Landview, Marie.
Oh, well, Tom, it seems so good for the both of us to have someone from home to talk to in this strange place. And I also realize that I've come to depend on having you around, you know, to have a strong shoulder to lean on.
I appreciate your trust in me.
You really caught me by surprise. I mean, you said that everything was good, the job was fun, and Mary Lynn was okay, and this seemed a peculiar time for you to want to go home.
Well, not necessarily. Think about it, Marianne. Here I am about to meet the woman who was married to Joe Riley, the mother of his children, who is about to have a child like Clint. And just what the hell is she going to do when she sees me? The trauma could be ungodly.
Yes, but if you don't meet Vicky, you'll never get to know about your brother Joe, and it would bother you for the rest of your life.
Look, Cord, I'm sorry that you have a hard time with my manner.
And people tell me that I can be aloof, and I guess that's what it is.
Oh, please, come on, Richard. You know, the first day I came into town, you were one of the friendliest people I met.
Look, you were mistaken, okay? Now, if you want to work with the newspaper together, that's fine. But personal matters stay out in the parking lot.
Oh, come on, Richard, you're dreaming if you think that we can keep personal matters out of this. Now, come on. Now, I know that something is bugging you, and I want to settle it right now.
There is nothing to settle. Now, nowhere is it written that you and I have to know about each other after work. We are not going to be friends.
Well, at least let's talk about
There is nothing to talk about. Now, don't you understand that?
Yeah, I understand it. But I just can't believe it, Richard. Now, I know that you were bugged by something, and I think you ought to let me in on it.
Look, Cord, if you were ever going to take my word on anything, take it now. What is bugging me, you can't do anything about. And it has nothing to do with Tina.
What? If that's the case, then why do you get so upset every time you see me?
Look, Tina and I are finished. Now, I can accept that. Now, I don't want her anymore. I don't even think about her anymore. It is over with her, and quite frankly, I am grateful.
Fine. Well, that doesn't explain a damn thing to me, but if you want me to accept that, I will.
Thank you.
Just one more question. You know, when we were on our honeymoon down there in the Caribbean, you flew down after us. It's like you wanted something from us. Tina didn't know what it was. I didn't get a chance to ask you because I ended up in the hospital. Well, I'm asking you now. What was it?
Damn it, Cord, can't you just accept this? It is over and done with. Now, just forget it before it destroys you.
You were something. Going over to Tiny and helping her out like that when she was rolling around on the floor.
really thought she was going to kill you.
Like I told you, it was an epileptic seizure, and it's not at all uncommon. She must not have been taking her pills, or else it shouldn't have happened.
God struck her down. She disobeyed his laws and he struck her down.
Susan, shut up!
Dorian, answer me something. How in the world did you know what to do?
Well, I'm a doctor.
You're putting me on.
No.
I knew you were a brain, but a doc? How'd they get you in this jail?
A doctor or not, they say I killed somebody. Anyway, it's been years since I practiced. I'm a bit rusty.
Oh, no, you're not. Well, we saw what you did with Tiny.
Yes, she cast a spell on her. Dorian is a witch! Burn her! Susan!
Shut up! Could I talk to you about something?
Sure.
I got this thing I wrote to the parole board. I've written it about 187 times. I can't get it right. I got this hearing coming up soon. If I don't get it just right, I'll never get out of this place. Could you take a look at it?
Yeah. I'm very flattered that you'd ask me to. Well, you write a very nice letter. You really do. You're very expressive about the points you want to make. It's just, do you really have to mention the prior arrests for prostitution? You know, it's not a felony, and I don't see why the parole board should care about that.
Think that might set their minds against me, huh?
Yes. I mean, why raise a question when it hasn't even been asked? Why don't you simply say that you feel very badly about what you did, and that if you get out, you're going to get yourself a really good job with the skills that you've learned in here.
Yeah. I see what you're talking about. Yeah. You really know how their minds work, huh?
If I did, I wouldn't be in here, believe me. Diane, I couldn't believe you, though, this morning at the in the lounge. I thought that you were going to go after Tiny yourself. It's just so awful that a kid like you should be in a prison like this.
Yeah, well, I think the same thing, but the lawyer that they gave me said that this was the best that he could do.
That's nonsense.
Yeah.
And Herb is going to get you out, I guarantee it.
I don't know how I'm ever going to be able to thank you enough for everything that you've done for me. I mean, it's just...
I've died and gone to heaven.
One Life to Live will continue in a moment.
Thank you. My name is John.
Well, that's what the last time said.
And playtime is over. I'm the new guard on this ship. I can be one mean and brutal human being. From now on, we're going to run this block like a prison. Now, where's Dorian Lord?
I'm Dorian Lord.
Let's go. Warden wants to see you. It's exercise time. This cell block's not going to be around for 5 minutes.
God, John, what are you doing here?
Shut up.
Oh, considering the way I feel, I didn't see any point in staying around here and scaring the hell out of Victoria just to find out a little bit more about Joe Riley.
Oh, believe me, I understand, but, you know, it doesn't have to be a total shock. I mean, we can talk to her. We could tell her what to expect, can't we?
No, I suppose you're right. I've come this far. I might as well stay and at least talk to the lady, but I'm not going to go to that party. I'm going to ask Clint if he can arrange an appointment for me to meet her. And then with
Tom, Maria.
Oh, Richard.
The desk said you were here. Maria, I really need to talk to you.
Excuse me. Maria, I must leave. Richard.
Thank you.
Oh.
Thank you very much.
Oh, my pleasure. Richard, sit down. You seem to be awfully upset.
You go, Clint. You said you want to see those pictures of the nursery as soon as I got them. Oh, yeah. Most of them down in the lab, but here's the first of them. Yeah, let me see them. I guess I got a little carried away, didn't I? Room looks like a toy store.
Nah, no, it looks great. And I'll tell you one thing. That baby of yours is definitely going to know which room is his, or hers.
Well, the real test is going to be when Vicky walks in, takes a look at it. Can't wait to see her face when she sees this little teddy bear here in his own wind-up swing. I'll tell you what, it's been a rough month. Rough, you know, 2/3 of my family, 3/4 almost, been away from home.
I'll bet you'll be glad to have him back.
You sound a little down. Everything all right?
Yeah, well, almost everything. You know, Clint, it might be a good idea if you were to put Richard and me on different shifts from
Oh, come on, you two.
It's not me, honestly. You know, I came in here a while ago. I tried talking to him just to strike up a conversation, and he shut me out completely.
What'd he say?
Basically, he told me to just shut up and get back to work. And I told him that if we were going to work here together, we should try to work this thing out, you know, clear the air once and for all, out in the open.
Tina hit that man like a 2-ton truck. But I wish to hell he would get over it for all our sakes.
He says that he already has. He says it was nothing personal, and he claims that he doesn't give a damn about Tina.
Well, he doesn't act like it. You walk into a room, now I've seen this with my own eyes. You walk into a room, and he stiffens up, and his brain goes south.
Well, if it's not Tina, I don't know what the hell it is, and I don't know what I can do about it. Oh, yeah, there's another thing. There was one question I asked him that he couldn't even give me a straight answer to. Now, I've been through all this with you before.
No, what was it?
Well, you remember how I told you he showed up in the Caribbean on our honeymoon? Well, I ended up in the hospital, so I couldn't ask him why. Tina doesn't know why, and he wouldn't tell me. Is it possible he said something to you about this?
Oh, I was never so happy to see anybody in my whole life.
I'm coming. You don't need
any lip. I'll take care of her. Don't worry about it. Good luck.
What are you doing here? Where did you get this uniform?
First, I'm here for two reasons. Primarily and foremost is to look out after you. You know, we're all just concerned about that fanatic Susan and the danger you might be in here. Second of all, what are they doing with all the other prisoners at nighttime?
You mean you're here undercover?
You got it.
Oh, John, you're the sweetest, most brave man in the whole wide world.
Hey, I'm just a cop at heart. You know that.
No, you're more than that. Gave up your business, your clients. You'd have to spend days on end in this horrible place. I'm so grateful.
It had to be done. And listen, I'm not the only one. You know, Herb had to go all the way to Governor to get me in here.
Really? Well, then I'm very lucky to have the two of you. Tell me, what's the news? I feel like I've been on the moon. I don't know anything that's going on.
All right, we got some good news and some bad news into this further investigations of Mitch Lawrence. It seems that he was keeping some filthy, but lucky for us, he was making recordings of
when he was seducing all those young girls?
Yes.
You're kidding me. That's fabulous. He's such a pervert, but it could work to our advantage, couldn't
Pink's his middle name. And that means there might be a tape of his attempted rape of Cassie.
Which, of course, would prove that I was defending Cassie when I killed him, right?
I'm afraid not. You see, the bad news is that when they found the machine in Mitch's room, there was no tape in it. And Allison Perkins ran off with the rest of them.
All right, we get the tape from Allison,
No,
right?
I'm afraid not. She listened to a couple of the cassettes, and she burned the rest of them.
So you mean we don't know that there is a cassette that shows that Mitch was attacking Cassie?
No.
All right, what's the rest of the bad news?
Let's just say it's a concern. I talked with one of my old contacts at the men's prison, and he says that you're on the list for a hit.
I mean, I think it does.
Exactly.
Okay, they may have already tried. This morning in the lounge, I think I was set up with some Godzilla.
Oh, no. Well, you look okay. Did you talk your way out of it?
Stroke of dumb luck. She was choking the life out of me, and literally I was about to pass out, and then she had an epileptic seizure, and she just let me go.
Thank God I could have been too late. Now, do you think she's going to try it again?
I don't know. I have no way of communicating with her. She's mute, but the one thing that does make me feel better is I've made friends with some of the women who've been here. I mean, they're actually opening up to me, so maybe if it happens again, they'll help me out.
Good. Next time I'll try and be there, too. But look, we've got to get you back in the cell before someone starts asking questions.
I guess that'll have to hold me, keep me going for just a little while longer.
You know, when you told me that Richard had been down there, I asked him the same questions. Why did he go down there, and why didn't he mention it?
What did he say?
Well, Cord, you're probably not going to like this. Richard has the idea in his head that somehow Tina knew about the property that Al had left you and Maria before you did.
Oh, man.
And since Tina preferred you over Richard, except for his money, that your inheritance tipped the scales in your favor.
And he figures that's why she dumped him, right?
So he went down to the Caribbean to find out if that was true or not. Now, I hate to say this, Cord, but it's exactly the kind of thing that Tina is capable of doing. She's got a well-known drive for money, power, security.
Well, if you noticed, I didn't fall over dead from the shock of hearing this. It's not the first time I've heard that theory. My ma suggested that before we got married.
Well, I don't doubt it. Doesn't surprise me. I'm pretty sure that Maria and Richard talked about it.
You know, Clint, my ma has not liked Tina from the very minute she laid eyes on her. She took one look at her and she couldn't stand her. And I wouldn't be the least bit surprised if my ma put that notion in Richard's head in the first place. No, I just can't understand this, Clint. All anybody had to do in this thing was to do what I did and just ask Tina.
What did Tina say?
She said that she loved me too much to marry Richard, and more than enough to marry me. Now, that's all there was to it, Clint. You know, I live with this woman, right? So are you telling me that my whole marriage could be based on a deception and I wouldn't even be the first one to know about it? Now, come on.
I would hope you would.
Clint, come on. Why can't everybody see how happy I am now? I am happier now than I've been in my entire life because I am married to the most wonderful woman in the world.
Cord, honey, you're here. Oh, Clint, I didn't know you'd be here.
That's my name on the door. It's my office. But by all means, come on in. We were just talking about you.
Oh. Well, dare I ask what you were saying?
Well, Cord was just telling me how wonderful it is to be married to the girl that he adores.
Did you really say that?
I did. Say it all the time. You can ask anybody.
Well, I didn't mean to interrupt. I'll just wait for you in the sitting room.
No, actually, I have to meet Briggs in the press room. I'm going to be there about an hour, so just make yourselves at home here. Oh, Cord, I'll discuss with the other party that matter we were talking about and tell them that we're just going to have to iron things out.
I'd really appreciate that, Clint. Thanks. Now, what was so important that you needed to see me right away? That's it?
No, I was driving by and I just wanted to see your handsome face and feel your arms around me.
And I can't believe that people tell me that I'm not the luckiest man in the whole world.
Would you like a drink or a coffee?
No.
Richard, why are you so upset?
Well, I guess I'm very upset because I'm not the kind of person who can live with a lie.
What lie is that?
Look, Maria, you know better than anyone. Now, everyone's playing this game of pretend. Well, I'm not going to pretend anymore. Clint Buchanan is Cord's father.
Who told you that?
It was an accident. But it's the kind of accident that could have happened to anyone, including Cord and Clint. Now, I confronted Asa with the information, and he said it was true. It is, isn't it?
Yes, it's true.
I swear there is something in both Cord and Clint that knows it's true. I mean, they almost act like father and son. They have a right to know the truth.
Tell Cord and Clint the truth after lying to them for so many years. Richard, it's not that simple.
What's Cord going to do, stop speaking to you?
Or worse?
Well, I don't believe that. Cord is a grown-up with his own family. Now, he's not going to reject you. Maria, lying always does more harm than good. And the longer the lie, the worse the harm.
Richard, please don't think that I don't think of these things. I mean, I've been tempted to tell Cord a million times.
Yeah, well, I don't know how you're able to live with it. But when you do finally get around to telling him, tell him the whole truth.
Well, what else is there to tell?
I think you know what I'm talking about. Or at least you guessed it. Tina knew that you and Clint were Cord's parents. So she blackmailed Asa into buying up all that land and making it look like your husband left it to you.
Richard, you are getting into very deep water. Now, if this talk is true, it could destroy Cord's marriage.
Yeah, well, maybe it'll save his soul and sanity. It is the truth, Maria. And it's going to come out sooner or later. The truth always does. Now, you even suspected it yourself. I mean, we were talking about it before.
All right. But all I have is suspicion. Now, I agree. It does look like Tina arranged this so that Cord would have money and he could be rich when she married him. But I have no proof.
Well, I do.
Somebody dropped this Bible on your car. I'm most afraid to read it.
His mustache.
Spelling's kind of weird. Tanks, like TNX, TANX. I guess that's thanks. What for? I don't know.
This is from Tiny. Thanks for being my only friend and help me when I'm sick.
Well, girls, I guess we're going to be all right from here on in. Hmm?
Maybe we can get Clint to break the day up into 4 or 5 two-hour shifts so that I can take a love break. Because 2 hours away from you is about all I can stand.
You know, I used to think I was happy when I'd buy a new fur or jewelry or something like that. But when I look back on my old life without you, it was just all dull and miserable.
Well, loving you is the best thing that's ever happened to me.
Yeah. Well, you haven't just changed my life. You've changed me. When I am with you, I feel like I'm floating all the time.
And you do. Well, I wish everyone could be as happy as we are. Or at least not as unhappy, because we are happy.
Well, who are we making unhappy?
Richard and I got into it again today. He's angry and upset still. I guess I can't blame him for hurting, for losing you. It's ironic, but I probably know how he feels more than anyone. Because I was looking down the same gun barrel myself for a while.
Yeah. Look, why can't Richard just accept what is?
Well, he can't. Follows him wherever he goes, Tina. It's like this big black cloud hanging over his head. Whenever he sees me, it just gets worse.
Well, I'm sorry you have to work under those circumstances. Did you talk to Clint about it?
Yes, I did. I was talking to Clint about that when you walked in. And he says he's going to have a word with Richard.
Well, Richard is just going to have to learn to live with it because he has no choice.
What kind of proof do you have?
I know for certain what you and I suspected was true. Now, Tina went to Asa and said that she would tell Clint that Cord was his son. So to shut her up, Asa bought the land. He got a lawyer to make it look like Al had bought it, and the rest is history.
Okay, you're saying what was a theory is now a fact, but how do you know?
Look, I'm not trying to avoid you, Maria. I have this information from a very reliable source, but I'm sworn to secrecy. You're gonna have to accept my word.
Richard, I know you're an honorable man. I believe you.
Look, Clint Cord should know. He has a right to know.
Richard, you know what that would do to Cordetto. I have never seen my son so happy. He is walking on air every day. The two of them are unbelievably happy. I can't destroy that.
You're still afraid you're gonna lose your son, aren't you?
That's part of it.
Well, God knows you've kept this burden a lot longer than I have. So you're gonna have to do what you think is best. But I cannot work with Cord anymore knowing that he doesn't know the truth about his own father and the kind of woman that he married. I have got to do something about it.
Sonia?
Hi, Dan.
May I help you?
Well, actually, I'm looking for Mr. Vernon.
Well, I'm sure he'll be here any minute. But in the meantime, would you like to have a seat at a table, and I'll bring you some coffee?
Ah, that'd be great. Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, I'm sorry. You all right?
Oh, Chip.
Honey, sorry.
I'm sorry. No, it's my fault. I wasn't looking where I was
No.
going as usual. My mind's been elsewhere today.
My mind is completely elsewhere, so it was my fault.
Oh.
Sorry.
Well, I'm just waiting for Brad. He was supposed to meet me here. I guess he's a little late. Say, would you like to join me for a cup of tea or coffee or something until he gets here?
Oh, no, thanks.
No?
Very much. It's just that I'm meeting somebody here, too.
Oh, okay. Well, I guess we could wait together then.
No. I mean, well, it's a business meeting, and I want to get on it right away because, I don't even know if this guy's going to show up, and it's got me a
yeah.
little crazy.
I understand. I think I know that guy.
Which one?
See the guy over there with the pistol?
Are you sure?
Yeah, there's something about him that's really familiar.
Connie, hey, what's the matter?
It's you. It was you.
We've all made mistakes, right? Yeah. That's why we're in here.
That's right.
But we're human beings. We aren't rats. Rats that deserve to be kept in cages.
But there's nothing we can do.
Separately, Jeannie, there is nothing we can do. But if all
together. We demand that we be treated like human beings. There's something that can be done. You're right. Martha, when is the last time you had a decent meal here?
I can't even remember.
Exactly. And yet, they expect you to put in a full day in the prison laundry. Is that fair?
No.
Of course it isn't. Lorraine, wouldn't you like to see your husband more than once a month?
Yeah.
I bet he'd like to see you more than once a month. And what about these so-called recreation periods that we have? Come on. Wouldn't you rather do something else besides walk around in a circle in that courtyard? I think we deserve a gym, just like the men have over in their section. And what about the library? How about some books in there that's not just about cooking or gardening? I think there ought to be books in there that are going to teach you things, teach you skills, so you can get out of here and make something of your lives.
I want to get out of here.
Dorian is so great.
Oh, you should have seen her when she took on Tiny.
Oh, I missed it. I was in solitary.
Yeah, Tiny had her in this arm lock, and all of a sudden Tiny had a seizure, and Dorian pulled her through it.
You're kidding.
No. The main thing is we can't just complain among ourselves. We've got to get our complaints, our demands to the warden. We've got to make the prison authorities just sit up and take notice. Right? Yes. Okay. So we all combine our efforts.
Your next little slumber party in solitary.
Oh, we're just having some fun, cutie. You know what that is, don't you?
Yeah, I know what that is. Now get on out of here. You guys got 15 minutes in the courtyard. You can spend it in here. Let's go.
Thanks for coming by. Listen, this is only the beginning. Don't think this is the end. Because we're going to win, believe me. All right. Thanks for being here. Tiny. So, how am I doing?
Tell you how you're doing. You and your damn protester can get you killed.
Protests, complaints, questions. This used to be an easy job. I used to run this place like a well-oiled machine.
Until Dorian Lord checked in.
If it was just her and her big mouth, I wouldn't care. But she's stirring everybody else up, making them all ask questions.
I thought we agreed on a solution.
And I'm still waiting for the results, and my patience is wearing thin.
I'm working on it.
Time's running out. I want Dorian Lord iced. Once and for all. Susan Bates, who was supposed to do the job for us.
It became too complicated. I'm working on an easier solution.
Like what?
Well, you know how the inmates tend to make enemies? Well, it seems that Madam Lord has already made more than her share.
So?
So, it wouldn't be very hard to explain that one of those inmates turned on her with fatal results.
You get the why, what about the where and the when?
Well, if I were a prisoner and I wanted to silence someone permanently, I'd look for a very crowded place with a lot of people around, someplace where the lights go down.
Not the weekend movie, please. I saw that with Jimmy Cagney in the movies when I was a kid, and so was the Prison Review Board.
Give me a little more credit. I've got better imagination than that. I was thinking of the big autumn social, you know, where the boys meet the girls.
Talk about a crowd. The lights go down and everybody's dancing.
And amongst all those would-be Romeos, I'm sure we could find an honest-to-goodness lady killer, don't you?
Brilliant, Spitz. Brilliant. Got a man in mind?
I have, definitely one or two.
Get to it. Come in.
Warden McFadden? Your secretary said I could come in. I'm Judith Sanders.
Well, Mrs. Sanders, of course, it's an honor to meet our new special prosecutor. Please, won't you be seated? Make yourself comfortable. That'll be all for now.
Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Well, Mrs. Sanders, I was hoping we would have a chance to get acquainted.
I'm
not here on a social call, Warden. I've heard some very disturbing reports about conditions around here, especially in the women's division.
Well, Mrs. Sanders, I can assure you...
Save the public relations, Warden. I want to know what's going on around here.
John, I'm just trying to defend the rights of women who can't defend themselves.
But why must you champion everyone's cause?
Because if I don't do it, who will? Don't you see, if I can turn this disparate group of females into a unified confederation of women, then my time here won't have been in vain.
Damn it, Dorian, I'll give you the Nobel Peace Prize right now, but just stop a second and think about the danger you're putting yourself into.
Did you see Tiny? She's supposed to be one of the most dangerous women in here. I've won her over. I can win the others over, too.
Will you listen to me? Look, I don't care if you want to reform the prison system. That's fine. Do it when you get out. But right now, there are some more sinister things happening around here than overcrowding and 3 square meals a day.
I'm aware of that.
Well, are you also aware that I was hired as a guard in this prison to find out where the inmates are disappearing to?
Yes.
And are you aware that I am risking not only my reputation, but my business, let alone my health, trying to figure out what's going on around here before you get yourself killed by whatever it is they're doing?
Yes.
I didn't hear you.
Yes. I know you're taking a great risk for me, and I thank you very much. And I love you for it.
Well, then just be careful, will you? Don't start any trouble. Just spend the rest of your time here quietly.
This is your lucky day, Dorian. It seems that... Has there been trouble here, Russell?
No trouble, Matron Spitz. Not anymore. In fact, you got my message, didn't you, Dorian?
Loud and clear.
What's been going on here?
Well, little Miss High and Mighty thought that she might stir up a little noise with some of the inmates.
Oh,
But I read her the riot act, and I don't think that she'll cause us any more problems, will you?
I'll try my best.
You'd better, because otherwise there won't be any visitors for you.
Visitors? Have I got a visitor?
Yes, you do. But if Russell here says you don't deserve a visitor...
No. It'd be a pleasure to get her out of the cell block. Let's go. You're Matron Spitz. You got a visitor. Move it.
Yes, sir. Anything you say, sir.
Connie, why the hell are you looking at me like that, huh? I mean, I don't owe you any money, do I?
I'm sorry, Chip. It's just the first thing that came out of my head.
Well, that's all right. You know, it's just that you looked at me like you were accusing me or something.
No. It's just, you remind me of somebody I knew. Somebody I knew once.
No kidding. You mean after all the times you've seen me, I suddenly remind you of somebody you knew?
That's a pretty silly thing to say. Well, you know what? Now that I really look at you, I mean, really look, there's no resemblance after all.
Well, why don't you tell me who it is, and maybe I can help you out here.
I told you I was mistaken. I'm sorry.
Connie, are you sure that this...
Yes.
I mean, you... Oh.
Fred.
Hi, sweetheart. Sorry I'm late.
Hi.
Hey, Chip. What's going on? I turned my back for a minute. You trying to steal my girl?
Who said I was trying to steal your girl?
Joke. Just kidding.
Oh. Sorry. Look, like I was saying, I got to get on this business thing, and we'll joke some other time, huh?
I'm sorry, Chip. I didn't mean to... What's with him?
The word stealing makes him a little nervous. He didn't find that very funny. But neither did I.
Got anybody take a joke around here?
Brad, you don't understand. You're not going to believe this. Chip was one of them.
One of what?
One of the guys that robbed us at the Ponies Ball.
Connie, come on.
I would bet Lucky Oltl and all her winnings that Chip Cooper was one of them. Brad, I know it was.
Cooper, are you serious?
He's an admitted liar, isn't he?
Well, yes, but that doesn't
All
make
right,
him...
he also came to town to kill Bo, didn't he?
But he didn't.
Brad, he's one of them, and I know it. I know it.
Let's sit down.
All right.
How? They were all wearing masks.
I know. See, that's the thing. All right, this will sound silly to you. Remember, see, I recognized his eyes through the ski mask. Remember I said that there was something familiar about him?
Uh-huh.
Okay, so when I just saw Chip, I saw the same blue eyes again.
Well, a pair of blue eyes, that's not ironclad evidence.
Brad, he held us at gunpoint. I will never forget the way he looked at me. I know it was Chip. Nothing you can say can convince me otherwise.
Okay. If you're that certain, why don't you go to the police, tell them your suspicions, have them check out his alibi, if he has one.
Well, I don't know.
Why the hesitation if you're so positive?
I am. It's just, it could be a terrible mistake, and I know what it's like to try and sabotage your reputation after somebody trashes it.
If he's innocent, they'll check his alibi, no harm done. But if he's guilty and you keep silent about it...
All right, you're right. You're right. If he's innocent, he'll prove it. And if he's not, then I have to go to the police. All right, wish me luck.
Well, I'll do better than that.
Thanks.
Go do your duty, citizen.
Where the hell have you been? Listen, Vince, do not hassle me right now because I have been...
Don't hassle me. You're lucky I don't know something worse to you, pal. Like, you had a meeting with the boss, remember? He couldn't make it last time, so we scheduled this one special.
I know, but...
Look, man, you stood him up, and the boss does not like to be stood up. Especially by a two-bit hustler like
you. You know, if you would let me explain, you
well,
might...
you better make this good, then.
Okay, I'll make it good. Make it good. I just left the Vernon Inn, all right? I was there meeting with an agent, a promoter, about bringing a new act in here to the club. And who did I run into but one of the broads we ripped off at the Ponies Ball?
So
she recognized me.
Will you lighten up? We were wearing masks that night. Nobody could have recognized you. Only your own mother would have recognized you.
I know, but somehow she did. I don't know, she saw something in the eyes. I don't know.
Did she say something?
No, it's the way she looked at me. You know, she looks at me with that, you held a gun on me look.
Now, you know what you got? You got that paranoia thing, people.
I'm not paranoid, she knows! Now listen to me, it's only a matter of time before she goes to the cops and Brad Vernon, who I shot, thank you very much, and tells them everything.
Look, man, you're losing it.
I don't want to do time. I got a record in this town. If I go down, I'm doing hard time this time, all right? Now, I did the robbery. I went in on it because you guys didn't give me much choice, now did you? But this is it, all right?
What do you mean this is it?
I mean I want out now!
Look, the only one who can let you out is the boss, and you just stood him up, remember?
That's what I wanted to talk to you about. You gotta get me in there to see him. He's gotta
Cooper.
understand.
The boss can smell fear a mile away, and right now you stink of it.
I'm begging.
Don't beg. I'll see what I can do with the boss. All right? But only because I'm a sweetheart.
Thank you.
Don't thank me yet. As a matter of fact, don't do anything. I want you to lay low and keep your mouth shut until you hear otherwise from me. You got it?
What? No partition, no barbed wire to keep the visitors from passing us chisels, files, nitro?
We are civilized these days.
Really? I hadn't noticed.
Still got that chip on your shoulder, dear. Maybe you don't deserve to see your daughter today.
My daughter?
Oh, baby. Oh, let me look at you. Are you getting enough to eat? Enough nutrition, enough exercise? Are you getting everything you need?
You make a better mother than I do.
No one is a better mother than you. Ever. I should be in here instead of you.
Oh, don't say that. Come on, now sit down. We've got a lot of things we need to talk about. Excuse me, Matron Spitz, we could use some privacy.
We may be civilized, but we still have regulations. Pretend I'm not here.
Would that I could. Cassie, meet Matron Spitz. The name says it all.
Look, Mom, is there anything that you need from home? Books, magazines, anything?
That's very sweet of you. But I don't want you wasting your precious life coming up here to see me in this horrible place.
I am not wasting anything. And I'm going to come and visit you as much as possible.
Oh, wonderful. Then we'll be serving this sentence together.
Mom.
Kathy, you just offered to give me anything, didn't you?
Anything.
Okay. I'm going to put that to the test, and you better not refuse me.
I won't.
I want you to go home, pack your bags, and I want you to go to Europe and stay with David and Jenny.
Surely these complaints can't be news to you.
There's always complain, Mrs. Sanders. You get used to it.
Or you get desensitized and you don't care.
Mrs. Sanders, I promise you I run a perfect prison here, a model prison. Now, our methods, our staff are beyond reproach.
Oh, yes, but nobody's perfect. And if any of those reports are true, you're in a lot of trouble.
Mrs. Sanders, I would be the first one to correct the slightest flaw in our system. Now, if you could give me something outside of just prisoners' complaints.
Diane Bristol. Does that mean anything to you?
Yes, in our case, she's a recent arrival.
Herb Callison tells me that she's still awaiting trial. And that she's a first offender, and she still maintains her innocence.
Mrs. Sanders, you and Mr. Callison must know that more than one prisoner in Statesville maintains his or her innocence.
Diane Bristol is hardly more than a child. Now, she may or may not have broken the law, but she does not belong in a prison with hardened criminals.
I couldn't agree with you more. Right now, she's sharing a cell with a convicted murderess, Dorian Lord.
Let's leave Dorian Lord out of this. I want Diane Bristol transferred to a minimum security facility as soon as possible.
It's not in my power to guarantee such things. But as a personal favor to you, I will...
Just do it, Warden. And when you've separated the lamb from the wolves, do something about the overcrowding here.
If the legislature would just vote me the funds...
And the illegal opening of prisoners' mail.
What? I had no idea anything like that was going on.
I would also suggest that you deal with the general atmosphere and intimidation and harassment of this place. You see, some of us still believe in rehabilitating prisoners before sending them back onto the streets worse than they were before.
Well, I couldn't agree with you more, and I swear we've been doing...
Warden, you asked me to tell you if there's been any problems in cell block B with...
Is there a problem?
No problem, sir.
Good.
You asked me to pay special attention to Dorian Lord.
What's she done now?
Oh, nothing, sir. The fact is, I think we've reached an understanding. She knows that as long as I'm on duty, well, I call the shots.
As it should be. But as you see, I'm busy now, so...
Yeah, actually, sir, that's the second reason that I'm here. I wanted to say hello to Mrs. Sanders. I knew she was in your office.
Don't you know each other?
Do we do?
Well, actually, I don't blame you for not remembering me. See, I was appointed special guard in the courtroom on the Henderson case.
Henderson?
Yeah.
Oh, John Russell. Yes, you were very helpful. How have you been?
Well, just great, ma'am. Fact is, I'm having a wonderful time working here in the prison.
Certainly is different.
Yeah.
Look, why don't I let you two catch up on old times, and then I could take care of that Diane Bristol problem. As agreed on, well, I will see that she gets everything that's coming to her.
Thanks. What did he mean by that?
What are you doing?
None of the question.
Honey, listen to me.
No, I am not taking a vacation while you're locked up in prison.
Well, you make it sound like this is some sort of medieval torture chamber.
Isn't it?
Listen, if they added a hot tub, this would be exactly like a spa. Honey, of course, I would rather be at home. But strange as this may sound, I've really met some very interesting, vital women in here. I have offered them friendship, and they are offering me friendship in return.
I'm very glad about that. But I still want you out of here.
Honey, how are you going to make that day happen any faster? By staying in town?
I am not leaving.
I'm not the only one who's been through an ordeal. You could use a vacation. I know that you would love to see David and Jenny.
Another time. I couldn't have a good time knowing you're in here anyway.
But who says I'm going to be in here? John and Herb are working very hard to get me out.
Well, it's not hard enough.
It will be. The point is, there's nothing that you can do that they can't do.
Time's up.
Don't cry. Don't, please don't. I love you.
I love you, too.
messenger and you, huh?
They should call it the messenger and your money.
Maybe if Susan plays that music loud enough, she can hear the real teachings of Brother Mitch. Hate your neighbor. Thou shalt steal, thou shalt kill.
Mitch Lawrence was worth 1,000 of you and your kind.